It is episode, 671, we think, of the WCB podcast. Kurt Geyer speaking.
Eric Common.
Doug Schmidt.
And our guest of the hour, Mr. Matt Busbice, is in studio. What's up, dude? Thanks for being here.
No, hey, you're welcome. I actually got to come clean.
Yeah.
Never listened to your podcast, but I hear it's
good,
awesome, big, and wonderful. Mm-hmm. But, being that we just met about a week ago, this is very much on a whim, and I'm glad to be here. And thank you guys for having me. But I really have to bring up what y'all told me before I showed up.
Yeah, we've said some terrible things about you. Or what did Steve say at the show? I've said some horrible shit about you.
And I'm like, have me. Like, whenever you're like, hey, we thought about it. Can you come on our podcast?
Yeah.
This is literally, 6 days ago?
Well, let's talk about how it all went down, because it was random, right? So
talk about random.
The most
Very,
random.
very random.
yeah, super random. And we'll get into all the things we've said that we can. We will, for sure. Like, we're not... That's what's going to make this episode so damn fun, I think.
Well, yeah, I'm ready.
And by the way, you being here is badass because, one, I think there's 3 people that our listeners never thought would be here, and you're probably one of them. Not you directly. It's for the lover for likes, hate from our perspective is why they wouldn't expect you to be here. Plus some other stuff, and we'll get into that as well.
Well, let's go.
It just keeps unraveling. Oh yeah, and also this.
Well, we'll get into the hater stuff. And what I love is that, we just kind of mentioned it while listening to the intro. If y'all have had haters say anything about y'all, I think you just said in the intro, you're like, that means you're doing something.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, I think it's a badge of honor to be here. If y'all have talked about me in the past or whatever I'm up to, whether it be a television show or a business I'm a part of, it is a badge of honor. And I really do, when I say it, like, I'm honored to be here because, working class bow hunter, this is the name of it, working class bow hunter. At the end of the day, I'm only here because of work. Mm-hmm. I'm only here because of business. Y'all would never have me on the show unless I was working for some company or my own company. I come from a family that's hard working. Mm-hmm. So I think we can at least connect that we like to work.
Yeah.
And we ain't taking welfare from somebody somewhere.
That's right.
I'm not going to knock the welfare system right off the bat, but we like to work.
Freeloading gays.
Okay.
Sorry, was that too early in the podcast?
All right. So let's talk about real quick why.
Sorry.
No, seriously. Let's talk about why did y'all invite me here? Meaning
how we got connected.
This was 5 or 6 days ago.
How we met.
Illinois Deer and Beer Fest.
Yes.
It's Sunday.
Sunday around 2 p.m., 3 p.m.
Yep. You roll over to the booth. You had a wager with some kids that wanted to beat your high score on Acubo.
Correct. So I had an Acubo booth at the Deer and Beer Fest. And my thing is Acubo's is a virtual hunting archery thing that you can put your phone on and shoot animals. Mm-hmm. It's like a virtual hunting experience. Mm-hmm. So when we set up booths at these shows, it's so cool because kids love it. Yeah. And that's the easy draw to get people to your booth. If you have something that kids want to interact with, you got people coming. Yeah. So we had a line the whole show. And my little spiel with the kids, I'm like, hey, if you beat my high score in the duck hunting mode or the horseback archery hunting mode, you can win a free hat. Problem was, I didn't have any hats because none of these kids can beat my high score, or so I thought.
Oh.
So, I play it all the time. I should have a high score. So this little girl kept coming with her friends, and she kept playing and playing and playing. So all day,
she just wanted to beat you.
Yo, she was not going to let it up. And I said, there's no time limit. And then, sure enough, this girl beats my high score. And she goes, crazy. Look at the phone. Like the phone's on the bow. So she says, look at the phone, Matt. I beat your high score. Where's my free hat? And I go, and
You're like, fuck, I ain't got no
dead
hats.
ass honest. I say, I don't have a hat. I would never think you would beat me. She goes,
That was
oh.
supposed to happen.
And so her friends are chiming in. They're thinking I'm a smuck. And they're like,
Yeah, you were the commie that got caught on his cheating game. Yeah.
and they're like 11-year-old girls, 10-year-old girls. And they're like, well, wait, you don't have a hat. You don't have a hat. You're not going to get, where's our hat? We want a free hat. And I was like, well, I just thought on my feet. I said, you can go around this whole trade show and pick out whatever hat you want. Pick out the prettiest thing you want. I'll go buy it. You want it. It's yours. She goes, oh, they got all excited. All her friends, they go, we're going shopping.
Whoa, just one of you.
Yeah, I know. It was like one hat. And so, long story short, 30 minutes later, they come back and are like, we found our hat. I said, all right, I'll follow you. I'll go buy it right now. And so I'm with 3 11-year-old girls, they're like, hurry. I'm running down the trade show. We end up at the working class bow hunter booth. Mm-hmm. And I was like, what hat do you want? I was like, I didn't, I heard of y'all's show, but I was like, for me, it was a transaction at that moment. I had to deal with these 11-year-old girls.
Yeah.
And they're like,
which is like the only time you can say that, and it's completely cool.
Right.
completely kosher right
Who ever
now.
thought they would have picked a hat from our booth?
Yeah, right. And on top of that, well, it means cool. Yeah, I'm glad they did. You know?
So anyway, when they pick out y'all's hat and they bring it to check out at the register, and that was my first time seeing y'all. This is 5 days ago, I saw y'all there at the booth, and the girls are sitting there like, here it is. And I said, hey, I'd like to pay for the hat. And they're like, and we just started like, hey, what's going on?
Yeah.
And we talked and we met, and I said, hey, let me tell you what really happened. This girl won a hat, and she scoured the whole show and picked out y'all. So
yeah. And
so that is why we're here, I believe, because y'all gave her a free hat, would not let me pay for it.
Right.
And I remember one of y'all said, we need good karma.
We
really need to give this hat away.
Yeah.
I kept suggesting, please let me pay for it. Please. They're like, no, we could really use the good karma, giving a free hat away.
Yeah, she deserved the hat.
Yeah.
100%. Yeah, I think that was me that said that. And then, we just got to talking. And that's when, like, Steve, so Steve, the big crazy guy you met, used to be a full-time host on the show. He's still a buddy. But he's y'all
let him go.
He went on to do other things.
You gotta let him fly.
But yeah, we fired the fuck out of him. He knew. But you met him. You know what it is.
I mean, Steve looked me in the eyes right after y'all gave the little girl a hat. He's like, "Wait, is this the guy that?" And I'm like, I'm looking at y'all making gestures. Is this him?
Yeah.
And he goes, "Oh, you're Matt Busbice. I've said some
horrible shit about you." Just looked you straight in the eye, and I'm like, "That's fucking awesome."
While he's drinking a Miller Lite.
Yeah.
Yeah,
on a Sunday.
He was ready to roll on a Sunday
With a brisket hat on.
So casually too.
Yeah.
It was 2 p.m. on a Sunday. He just looks at me from 4 feet away. Says some god awful shit about you, man. I'm like, good to see you.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Well,
Great to meet your acquaintance.
And so it's kind of how we started talking. I'm like, oh, dude, yeah, like we did 3 episodes, or well, at the time it would have been the latest episode with Caitlin Moss. I'm like, oh yeah, dude, I think I called you a douchebag like this last episode.
Yeah, this is the first 5 minutes of meeting each other.
Yeah,
These guys are saying, we just called you a douchebag.
We really gave it to you.
Yeah. And I was
Yeah,
like,
I mean, we did.
But then we got to talk, and long story short, I think I was like, hey, I'm going to come bring y'all an Acubo to try out. I just bought the company 3 months ago. Let me come bring it at the end of the show while we're packing up our booth. Let me come drop off an Acubo. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if it was then y'all said, hey, why don't you think about coming on the show? I don't know. I don't know when the timing was.
I think it was in the initial. So we sat there and talked a little bit, and basically you're like, oh, I'm going to be in Illinois all week.
Yeah.
And I'm like, we actually randomly had an opening, which is we try not to book out. We try to book out more.
All that good karma.
Then it was like, well, if you want to come in, man, I think it would be one, we could surprise drop the episode. No one would expect you to be our guest. And two, it could be a really fun conversation for us, really, to kind of like, yeah. And it's not that we never really, like, hated you personally. It wasn't that. It's more the idea of like the For Lover for Like show. Because what started it as was like the Instagram model. Like, that's easy to hate and also easy to appreciate in other angles.
100%.
And it started as us riffing, and then it turned into like an inside joke with listeners over time.
Oh.
So then it's always kind of become a thing. But we'll get into more of it too. So I think that's why I thought it'd be fun. Like, one, you're here in person, which
is awesome.
Mad props, and it's hilarious in general. Like,
it really is. I never thought this would happen, to be honest with you.
No.
I never
And it
thought
happened
Mad
5 days
Busbice,
of hanging out with
would be sitting here in the studio with us.
So I don't know where to unpack it.
Well, we'll just do one cheers real quick.
Okay,
I
cheers.
think we start off with prayer, but let's have one of those
So
too.
cheers. Yeah, we'll drink this.
So what do we
talked a
dive
lot-
into? We talked about why we're together right now. Okay.
Yeah.
We're over that. What do we dive into?
So I think we go right into For Lover for Likes.
Okay,
Because I
let's-
think that was the initial rip on it. And I honestly,
I actually like the quick story on how you started to even get to there. That was pretty good.
How
right?
For Lover Like started?
No, just how you
en-
even
entertainment.
Oh.
But I think we tackle For Lover for Likes first.
got. Yeah,
Because
let's
it's
dive into it.
so, everyone wants to hear that first because that's like what we talk about.
Okay.
Right? So I thought a lot of things, but I don't know because it's like I don't understand the premise of the show. I know it was like this competition.
Spill it. Spit it out.
Right? I'm like, in my head, I'm like, it's a dude with money making a show to get laid.
Yeah.
Was it?
Not that. I said, yeah, that's what most people.
Dude, if you mic dropped and were just like, yeah, that's what I made it
Oh,
for.
yeah. No, I'm just.
And that's what
That's what most people-
100% of everyone else thought, too.
Yeah. Well, it's by design. So great that you did think that. Thank y'all and your listeners, honestly. If y'all really thought that, it's not like I'm sitting here going to rub it in, but that was by design.
To make it look that way?
Yeah. Because you gotta fast forward to the first like season. We built the show and it was pretty cool. You know, some Insta famous girls came down to the Busbice Ranch. They all shot deer. It was cool. It was a competition. It's all women, and we were about to launch the show. And one of the heads at Outdoor Channel was like, Matt, you know, we're launching the show April 1st. That's April Fool's Day.
Oh, I do remember that now.
I do remember this.
And
I forgot about that.
And he goes,
That might have what brought it up on the podcast in the initial first place.
and I thought it was a genius idea. He goes, Matt, are the girls still at your ranch right now? I said, yeah, we just wrapped, but what are you thinking? He goes, can you throw together a promo? Can y'all film like you're trying to do like this redneck bachelor dating show and we'll launch the promo on April Fool's? And I said, you're a dadgum genius. We'll go film that stuff.
Right now.
And so I grabbed the girls. Their suitcases are in the car, like in the truck. We're about to bring them to the airport. I said, look, we need 15 minutes. Does anybody know how to fake cry? They're like, all of us. And I was like, I was like, great.
They all do one of these.
And I was like, hey, can anybody act like they just missed a buck? Like, and they're like, can any of y'all act like you're here, but you have a boyfriend already, but you're here on a dating show? And when I was like, I'll do that. And I was like, all right, so we're going to film like we're making a redneck bachelor show, and it's going to be an April Fool's prank, and we're going to prank the whole hunting world. Every girl there was on board. They're like, let's go, because they all watched The Bachelor.
Right.
And so I was like, all right, let's start it off. And it's like, we need a very cheesy scene. Okay, go to the target range. So I grabbed one of the girls and said, look, I'm going to give you the cheesiest line. I'm going to shoot at the target. And I said, look, I'm going to start off with this. I'm going to say, hey, if I hit this 3D deer target in the heart, I get a kiss. She goes, okay, if you hit it. And so I shoot the deer target right in the heart. I might have hit lung, but
Okay.
And she goes, all right, kiss me. And I'm like acting like a kisser on camera. And then I go to the boat dock and I'm peeling rose petals and crying in the bathroom. The girls are crying, and the other girl says, I'm here because I'm in a relationship. I'm not interested in him, but I'm here for the big bucks. I just want to kill a big buck. So we built this April
Man, where did we
Fool's.
find that?
We watched
it
it
is-
back in the day on the podcast. I remember that
All right.
now.
So now,
Is it on YouTube?
so is it coming to you?
Yeah, that
Yeah.
does.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So by design, season 1, and when I tell you, we produced this like we were literally going on ABC, like not an outdoor channel show.
A full-on
We
TV
wanted
drama.
to go like big with this trailer. And I mean, I hired a professional voiceover. I said, anyway, we went full send. And whenever we produced it, they watched it at the outdoor channel and I watched it. I said, people are going to think this is real because it's that believable.
I think what a lot of people would happen, myself, seeing the trailer and I'm like, this
got
is what the actual show's going to be. And I never watched an episode.
Yes.
And so I'm like, this is a joke, right? But I thought it was real.
Well, no, because most people scroll. If you're watching an Instagram video or Facebook, they barely give 1 minute of viewing.
Yeah.
We revealed that it was a prank right at the end.
See, I didn't watch it till the end.
And then in the comments section, it was like,
Joan took
it's a joke. It's a joke. It was too late because everybody stopped watching after 1 minute when we finally revealed it.
Because I didn't know it was a
cared.
joke. I'm like, I'm not watching this on outdoor television.
If I think, man, it's been 9 some years, right? So
I would say close to 9 years.
So we watched that on the podcast, I think we got fooled. But yeah, I think part of it that stuck with me. But it's like,
I never even gave it a chance, to be honest with you, because I'm like, I'm not watching this shit.
I don't know. It was I mean, it's fucking awesome when you explain it, but it's also like,
Well, no, because here's what's bad about it. So the Outdoor Channel, which I love that channel, they've been so good to me, but this is so bad. I posted the trailer on my Matt Busbice Facebook page, so it was under my control. So when I tell you in one day it had 1 million views, I'm not lying. It was 24 hours, 1 million views, thousands of comments, and a boycott started to set in to the Outdoor Channel saying we're cutting the cable. We hate the Outdoor Channel because of this.
right.
And so
which honestly makes a little bit of sense, right?
well, I agree. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
If in a network and a very corporate culture, of course, it makes sense. But if you know speaking of corporate in a capitalist society, how do you boost ratings and awareness to your network?
Controversial shit.
Well,
Yeah.
it's it's age old. I mean, it's called advertising stunts. You do things to raise awareness through free virability and word of mouth. So anyway, we were taking an age old tactic. Let's do something that's been done for years and then rebirth it right here.
We'll throw it into a space that's not used to it.
Yeah. The space is the hunting space isn't even ready because who
Okay,
would
no.
do that?
Not even close.
It broke the fucking internet.
It really did.
It's crazy to think about, but it's like I think at the time Instagram was popping off, and then there was this Instagram huntress thing, which is why, of course, you did the show you did. But for me, it was so easy to hate, and the premise of your show, the Instagram chick that's not legit is easy to be annoyed with, and it still is.
Hey, you know how we came up with the idea? I hate to cut you off.
No, you're fine. You're fine.
But it's exactly you just triggered me.
Yeah.
You know why we did the show?
Because of that, right?
It was dudes around. We have a saloon at our camp. It's just like where everybody hangs out. It's kind of like this place. Y'all have a badass little podcast. Everybody, all y'all's buddies probably hang out here, watch fights.
Yeah.
Well, we have a saloon at our camp. So we're sitting around our table and all of us are on our phones. It's kind of like late in the night. Everybody's kind of done talking, getting ready
Yeah.
for bed. Everybody's kind of just checking their phones. One of my friends is like, what's so-and-so doing? How many bucks she killed this year? And one of my buddies like, you follow her? And he's like, yeah. And like, I follow her too. And then another buddy goes, I follow her too. And I'm looking at my phone. I go, I follow her too. And so I was like, guys, we're all following the same girl. Would we do that for dudes? Would we be all following a random dude from Iowa?
Yeah, right.
You know,
That's a
like
good
maybe, but I'm saying back then it was very rare for all of us from Louisiana following a random girl that just likes to hunt in Iowa.
right.
And one of my friends
she was a babe, I
with
bet.
probably decent looking.
she was
Who
a babe.
knows? She had a
Probably.
big rack in her hands.
Smart. Yeah,
I'm
we
gonna
call 'em
guess
smart.
this is a
Yeah.
nice one.
But
Big.
one of my buddies that had been saloon drinking goes, Matt, that's your next show. I want to see all those girls here, seeing
God.
if they actually do this for real, because we're all following the same girls.
Right.
Are they really hunters? Are they just getting like pictures with their boyfriends, dear? Are they going to these outfits and they're taking pictures? And you know, the catfish generation was blooming then too, that show. So we're all up in arms about what's real on the internet and what's not. So
Yeah,
I looked at, he was probably intoxicated, one of my buddies, and he's like, that's your next show, Busbice. Get all these girls here somehow to have them hunt
Yeah.
and see if they're doing it for real.
Best
and
ideas coming to saloon. I'm telling you.
But are most of them executed?
No,
That's the thing.
because most of you don't remember the next morning.
Yeah.
So
Fair point.
so you never got laid in the whole history of the show for likes?
Never.
Never ever.
I'm going on record. Never, ever, ever,
Hold on. But did you get close?
never,
Did you try ever?
never, ever, ever, while filming the show.
Okay. When you weren't
Wait, is there an
Man.
asterisk behind this?
I just don't love or like that. You know, I hate that for you.
Wait, let me ask you a question with your question.
Okay.
What is the name of the show?
for love or for likes?
Wrong. That's what I was going to let you say it a bunch. It's for love or likes.
For love or likes.
Yeah. Hey, you remind me of
Is
one.
it really?
Yeah, it's for love or likes. It's not for love or for likes. I've always
Everyone says it that way, though, right?
one of the girls that was on the show kept saying it. Now that I'm on for
is
love
that it
or
right
for
there?
likes.
That's not it. Or is it? Is this the trailer?
Yeah, that's one of them. Oh, yes.
This is it?
Wait, we made like another. This is on Rated Red. This is not even.
What the hell?
I couldn't find the OG, the one from your guy.
That's the April Fool's joke that we did. That's the trailer.
Foxes right here.
Apparently, you can be a little too good at playing an April Fool's joke. The outdoor community recently lost their collective damn minds after the Outdoor Channel posted a spoof promo video on Facebook for an upcoming real show titled For Love or Likes. The trailer
You're
features
right.
Insta-famous huntresses competing for the love of the Outdoor Channel's Matt Busbice.
Damn.
Girls are flying in from all over the country to see if love.
I did my hair.
Relationship
God
potential
damn, that's
with me.
good.
And reaction to the video was pretty intense, with a ton of people missing the joke entirely and claiming the channel was completely out of touch with its audience. We spoke to
better we're
Busbice,
watching
who
this
already
version.
read that, quote, the teaser generated a tremendous amount of engagement and started to get out of hand, so we opted to post part 2 of the teaser and reveal the joke after only one day. When asked about the actual premise of For Love or Likes, he said it's a hardcore hunting competition that highlights the hunting skills and passion for the outdoors of young women who have made names for themselves in social media. See, they're just having a little fun. Everybody, be cool. What do you think about the Outdoor Channel's attempt at an early April Fool's joke? Let us know in the comments.
Okay, that's pretty.
That's pretty good.
Funny. I'm glad we played the Rated Red version because it kind of like backs up. But we're the. All right, so all right, going back. You never got laid
No.
while the taping of the show was going on.
Never ever.
I know what that means.
No. I went on a date with one of them, like months after. So I don't count that as like anything, and nothing. No funny business occurred.
We just want to hear about the goods, man. Tim
The
Sylvia
goods,
came
there was
in
no
here.
goods. Like it was one of those, had a good time, nothing real, no sparks. And actually she might have had another, she was getting out of a relationship.
You were a rebound for a date.
Yeah. And she went right back.
She's just in it for the likes.
In it for the likes.
I
Not
knew
for
it.
the love.
I knew it.
So when these women show up, were any of them were like, all right, you can be honest now, right? You're not doing the show anymore. Were you just like, I hate this sucks? Like, were any of them just so terrible that you were like, I can't do it?
Yeah, there were some bad ones. It's
Like,
just,
it's like kind of like that's kind of what we thought it would be, I guess, in our head with some of these women,
Yeah. It was never involving me. That's what that's why I'll kind of disclose a little bit about it. But it was one of them, and I'm not going to say names.
No, I don't wanna-
No, you have to do
I'm not
that.
going to talk about the cameraman that had the incident.
Oh, well, the incident.
Yeah, I mean, I had to deal with something that was like, you got to realize from my perspective, think about a guy, like y'all are guys, you have a film crew, you have women from across the country to come to your camp, to hunt your land, to film a television show that's a competition. We're going to promote women hunting, our products that are sponsors and all this. In my head, I'm thinking this is going to be the greatest week ever.
Yeah, it should be
It's
easy.
probably a
like-
clusterfuck.
It also could be chaos too.
Yeah, the worst time ever. Yeah, for sure.
So one of the weeks it became that. One season.
Have you ever talked about this ever on a podcast or anything?
No, never.
Love
and
that.
I think it's it's been so many years. So if whoever hears this, sorry,
They're
this
fine.
is,
Hopefully you got better.
yeah. So
They probably have an OnlyFans now and are really rich.
yeah,
Yeah, what the hell?
I absolutely wish the best. All the hunting for lover likes girls that have came through. I really do hope.
Yeah, you don't
that I
wish
would be
ill on
able to-
anybody. Yeah.
I don't want to get deep here, but I really do love all of them as far as like they came down, they competed, they hunted, and they left. And I think we have this weird, hey, we were a part of this for lover likes era.
Right.
So
Right.
like we're a part of that thing. And I was like, so one year, this camera guy was new. I hired him fresh.
Mm-hmm.
And he had actually recognized me at a bar. Speaking of bars and what happens when we drink and do a podcast.
Yeah, we're having fun.
So this guy comes up to me at a bar and he goes, I know who you are. I want to work for you. And I'll do anything. I want to be in the hunting industry. I said, all right, well, meet me on Monday if you're serious. I'll text you. I said, I'll text you my address. Text me your contact info. And if you're there Monday morning, we can talk. Because I'm not going to entertain a serious, job offer at a bar. So, not that I won't entertain serious talk at a bar, just not,
You're not trying
a
to-
random kid coming up to me at a bar.
Well, and you're trying to relax.
Yeah, I mean, but it was anyway. He shows up Monday. I hire him. I said, "You're real. You're real. You want this, right?" He's like, "Everything. I want to be in this more than I grew up hunting, fishing. I want to be, one day I want to be in the industry. And this, if I can get my foot in the door, I'm in." So I said, "All right, next week we're filming for love or."
Likes.
Okay.
Not 4 likes.
So I said, get ready to learn how to run a camera. And by the way, before you start filming, you're going to come film me. But before you film me, we're going to go cut shooting lanes, plant food plots, fill feeders, and hang tree stands and put lifelines up and get ready for this hunt this week. So this kid, we were together day and night getting ready. Like we have 65 bow stands to get ready, and you have to have them secured to a lifeline. Like we don't want anybody getting hurt.
Yeah.
So, we want these girls to show up ready to hunt so they don't have to go do all the prep work.
Sure.
Because then that would take away for their 4 days of hunting.
Well, then none of them could do it anyway.
They couldn't get kills on camera.
Good point.
Oh, I didn't even. Yeah.
You didn't expect that coming, did
Yeah.
you?
And it,
Sorry, but it's probably like 80% true.
but somewhat truth. But in a way, if you have 4 days to get kill shots on camera, that's what
Right.
the hunting industry wants is kill shots.
Even playing field for a show.
So you got to give them something to go get kills. And I show misses and I show no zone hits. So anyway, me and this guy become friends quick because they're like, dude, you're a hard ass worker. You're good. All right, now you got to learn and trained how to run a camera. He's like, all right. I get my producer. I'm like, teach them. And I was like, hey, come hunting with me once before they get here. We're doing a mock hunt, meaning I might shoot a buck, but I'm pretty much, you're coming with me to learn how to hunt, film a hunt. So I give him everything I could for training. He goes out day one with the girl that shows up. I never thought in a million years it could go this bad. So
That bad.
yeah, for me, it was that bad because it was day one. We're on cloud nine. Girls are going to hunt 55,000 acres wherever they want to go. They got the trail camera images. They're looking at pictures saying, "Oh, this buck's daytime in here," or he's, they're picking out their spot, self-guiding themselves to a certain degree.
To a point, yeah.
But
Just easily self-guiding themselves.
it just sets it up for self-guiding.
Yeah.
And
well, if they can't guide themselves there.
well, honestly, some of them are more legit than others. But
Yeah.
This one girl was actually pretty damn legit. She was like, "Look, I'm going here. Where's my cameraman? Is he ready to go?" And I mean, my new guy was getting all his stuff together. They go, they take a truck, go. So you got to realize, I feel like dad. Like I don't know how
Don't
to
touch the
explain it.
girls. Don't look at the girls. You're doing that whole thing?
Oh yeah. I actually put the fear of God into the new guys, into my cameraman. I said, look, these girls are here for 4 days. They're here because they are having a great time.
That's all it was total was 4 days?
Yeah, the whole season's filmed in 4 days.
Holy cow.
smokes.
And I said, look, they're here on their own accord, their own will. They took away from their own schedule to come film a TV show, and they're putting themselves in a vulnerable state because they're Insta famous. They're used to controlling the narrative. They're used to doing whatever they want on their own page to get as many likes as they want. Just like guys do, just like anybody does. You can do whatever you want, but they're putting themselves at risk, and they did that for the show. So whatever you do not screw up their experience. You are there to film and capture what happens,
And that's it.
and that's it. And so I put the fear of God of every camera guy. And so there they go to the woods. And I'm sitting there at the ranch, at the house saying, all right, I feel good. I feel good. Well, dark comes, the trucks start rolling in, and I'm kind of greeting all the girls coming in and the camera guys. And
Is this season 1?
I don't know. I can't say.
Okay, yeah.
okay.
And
We'll respect
So-
that. Good answer.
one of the ladies like almost hits me in the shoulder as she walks by, but she didn't. But she gave me like that hard walk by without wanting to talk to me. Didn't hit me in the shoulder at all. I'm just trying to be.
You can feel the
embellish.
aggression in the walk.
It was an aggressive walk to where I don't want to talk to you. I'm mad. And then all the other girls gravitate to that energy. You know how women are. I mean,
Yeah.
emotional.
They're evil, so they feel more
No,
evil.
I would say emotional.
Sorry, that's not what you meant? Oh, sorry, Matt.
I can feel it.
All right. My bad.
So I guess, that happened. So this is where it got bad. Is that I feel that emotional women energy of negativity and drama going on. And then my new guy comes up. He's as bad as them. He's
God.
crying and doing all this stuff and wanting to talk to me and break away from the producers. And I got to talk to you. I got to talk to you alone. No cameras. I'm like, what the hell did you do to this?
Overall, like a span of like
situation?
4 hours or something?
Huh? Yeah, 4-hour hunt. I'm like, what on earth happened that the woman won't talk to me and you won't talk to me with cameras present? I'm here to, hey, how'd it go?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so Turns out, the new guy is disheveled. It's his dream to be the hunting industry, and it's his like first week, and he's ruined it. And so he gives me the story. He goes, look, the shooter buck that she had on camera coming in daytime came in. I go, okay, that's a good thing.
Yeah.
We're all good.
Why we men?
Yeah. And he's like, well, it's not good. I go, how is that not good? And then, by the way, the deer made a scrape and got on his hind legs and gave a show on camera. He
Did
told
everything.
Me, I was like, everything's good. He goes, yes, it's not. And I go, so what could be so bad? Tell me. And this dude's in tears. He's like, well, I told her she had to take the shot. I go, excuse me? What's the problem with that? You said she had to take the shot. Was everything good to go? He's like, I shouldn't have. It was not quartered. The deer was not quartered good. And I was ready to get the kill shot for the show. And I'm the cameraman. I'm the lead guy there. And I told her to take the shot. And it's a crossbow. And she kept telling me she doesn't have the angle. And I'm gonna have a different angle for the cameraman. And I was like, so you told her to take the shot. Did she take this shot? Because it's ultimately going to be up to her, right? And he goes, she took the shot. I go, let me see the footage. And so they get in the footage ready, and I finally talk to her. I'm like, hey, what's going on? She's like, your cameraman who you hired, he's a professional that's been working for you, obviously. I'm here for the first time ever on national television getting filmed, and he's telling me I have to take the shot. I told him I didn't have the angle. And I said, yeah, you're good. You're a good hunter. You didn't have the angle.
Don't take the shot.
You don't have to take the shot. She goes, but he told me I had to. And I said, And I'm thinking about it. I'm like, okay, how forcefully did he tell you that you had to shoot at this buck? And then they come over, the producers are like, look at this footage, Matt. So like, it's like the NFL referee.
I look at the little box.
Yeah, I'm like, pause, let me go look at this. And I go look at the footage. I'm hearing all the conversation. I'm looking at the deer. And when I tell you this deer has got basically his ass facing the camera, and at best, it would have been, I would almost say there was a 1% chance of a good shot, meaning it was not the right angle. But that's from the cameraman's perspective. So from the cameraman's perspective, the angle isn't good. But from the hunting perspective, it was even worse. So you give a 1% chance from the cameraman, 0.5% chance from the hunter. I had to say to him, I said, I heard the audio. You basically forced her to take the shot. And she said that you made her take the shot and forced her. And you know what? I don't know what to say, but you messed. I actually kind of blame the camera guy, but I also have to hold as equal as a weight, a touch maybe more on the hunter because nobody had a gun to her head.
Right.
But if you would have saw the GoPro angles and what was said, you would have been, if you were the first, like, let's just say I had For Lover Likes for Men, you showed up.
So.
And I'm like, hey, here's 55,000 acres. You got 5,000 acres over there. Go pick out your stand. All the trail cameras have been running. And then this new camera guy that's like,
No, hold on. Reverse it. Super fucking hot chick camera woman.
Oh, yeah.
Is like, Doug, you have to shoot.
Really?
In that voice, though, too.
Doug,
You have to shoot.
for me. Let's just figure out that's what.
We'll try it.
Hey, you're going to take your odds, right?
Oh. I was caught up in the moment.
Point in case.
Caught up in the moment.
She took the shot.
Right.
And dude,
sucks.
she put the perfect shot but it just didn't get in there.
Yeah,
it
right,
was
right.
the perfect shot, but it took like 12 to 20 inches. She basically skint the side of it.
Oh, I see.
And you know, I made that. I might have embellished how dramatic that was, but in the moment, it was the biggest deal for her and the biggest deal for him. And they put that on me like the world's ending. And I had to tell them, I was like, guys, this is hunting television. This is a new show. You never hunted here. You never hunted here. You never filmed the hunt in your life. You never filmed for national television. And they're thinking that the world is going to crucify them for one incident, which
Can
now
happen.
You fast forward now, cancel culture is real. The world can crucify you for one moment in time, which I get.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
imagine being in their shoes, so self-aware. They're like in a new hunting land.
Yeah.
They got cameras there, GoPros, another.
I'll be honest, man. I thought this story
I thought so
was
too.
going a way different direction. I thought it
did
was
I
a
bore y'all? Was
no,
it
no,
not?
no.
No,
It was
no.
great. It was a
No,
great story.
it was good.
I thought it was going to be a sexual thing that you were
That
like,
he whipped it out?
or something crazy. Well, okay,
Well, not that
maybe
part,
not
but
that,
like-
but like,
He was
I'm
hit- he was
joking.
macking on her or
Keep this
something.
PG-13.
No.
When I said whipped it out, I mean his new pack of broadheads.
yeah, that's right.
What do you think
Yeah,
about this?
this.
These.
Yeah, listen. But
I mean these.
These, not this.
Yeah, this.
like these. I thought I was like,
it's a big
oh shit.
expandable.
Okay, that's fair,
Hey,
right?
I'm right along with you though. I thought that was going in a totally
Yeah, I
different
thought
direction.
he tried to make a move on her and she wasn't having it, and then now all this weight of like you had to hire HR for sexual harassment on
Well-
the show for love or likes.
Notice how I triggered y'all from the beginning of the story.
You're good at that,
The
dude.
master of the first 5 seconds.
Had me hooked.
Yeah, you did.
Because
Hook, line, and sinker.
yeah, that's what it takes, and that's what for love or likes is. It's just pure.
Yeah.
It was trigger bait from the beginning. But if you know what's funny. None of y'all probably watched the show.
I think I've watched an episode or two, but it's been so long.
No, I watched
the,
it. I-
the full season.
No, never watched it.
I watched the trailer. I'm like, I'm not watching this.
I think I watched a few way back in the day,
Okay.
and I
The thing
just,
is, we drink a lot, and
and
we're
I
kind of
just
dumb,
thought
so
like
we
if
forget.
any person knew anything about hunting, they would have done just fine, but they don't.
Well, some of them don't.
Meep.
Well, if it depends on what season you watch.
Hell, I don't know. I was young.
All right, let me ask you this, because our listeners won't let me get a break if I don't ask you some of these questions, and I'm curious to know too. You
Bathroom break?
Yes, you can take a bathroom break. This segment's brought to you by
Whatever.
Trophy Tape, which we're going to talk about that.
Big expandable broadheads.
These unbelievably unrealistic, unbelievably sharp broadheads. Okay, we'll chat amongst ourselves, Matt. Not about you, amongst ourselves.
Yeah, we won't talk about you.
What's that?
Close the door.
No, you can leave it.
Now
out.
you can leave it open.
Yeah, I definitely thought that was going on their way. But Doug, what if there was a for love or likes version of Men, you for sure would be on it.
I think I would win.
But honestly, nowadays, like the paradigm has shifted. I think Matt might want to play in on this too. Like there's just as many Instagram guy huntresses.
Yeah.
That doesn't that term doesn't make sense, but you know what I'm saying.
yeah,
Yeah.
I get your pick. I get your
There's just as many now, if not more,
100%.
than females. Like it has changed. Like there's a lot of corny ass dudes. I mean, look at the ATA show. Or what's up, Rachel? Oh, Rachel's in here. You want to chime in on this?
About what?
You can sit in Matt's spot till he gets back because we have cameras set up. Jordan had to leave. You see this text?
Yeah, I seen that. Yeah.
what happened?
His girlfriend locked herself out of the house. Bless her heart. There's more Instagram dudes probably in the game now than there is Insta Huntress dudes, right?
Fair.
Rachel's
Probably.
random pop-in guest on her way to Colorado. Right? Like there's a lot of that now. There's dudes
There
out there
is.
who are like, what are we doing?
All I know is I would not like to be a 200-inch deer nowadays with all these hunters running around.
No, I hear you, but
Huntresses / hunters.
I hear you. Rachel, you want to jump in on that green mic over there and get some female chime in on this?
Sure.
Does that work? Let me adjust
Sure.
the camera and turn your mic on here.
Man, I really thought that story was going somewhere.
Dude, I thought it was going a way different direction what it did.
I know, he even let into it. Young cameraman. I'm like, oh,
With some hot chicks.
not me.
You wouldn't have filmed that
Nope.
back then?
I got a girlfriend.
I think there's a lot more. Well, I think hunting podcasts are probably to blame for some of it too, and YouTube and stuff like that. There's a lot of dudes that are completely full of shit.
Oh, 100%.
Like there's a lot of. Well, I mean, just break down the hunting podcast segment. There's a lot of guys giving advice that got no experience in advice giving or hunting or anything. There's no experience in what they're giving advice on. I mean,
Yeah.
Pull that up just a little bit, Rachel. Then you begin. Cool.
No, but I also think that, like, if a guy's giving advice, and maybe it's just my perspective, if guys giving advice, I'm more apt to listen, and this is bad to say coming from a female, more apt to listen to it than, or give them the benefit of the doubt that they know what they're talking about than if a girl's giving advice.
It's the odds.
Yeah.
Because you're one of the you're in the percentage of few women that sounds bad too, but I'm giving the girls who know what I'm talking about get what I'm saying. I don't have to be like, oh, cover my tracks here. There's not as many legit, independent female bow hunters in the game as there is men. That's just what it is, and we all know that, and that's most cases. So yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah, so we have we talked about this. So we have a girls group chat now in the WCB group.
That's awesome.
And we talked about how, if you walk into a bow shop, I think immediately as a woman, I think the bow shop owner, if they don't know you, will treat you like you probably don't know what you're talking about until you prove them otherwise. Right?
Agreed,
you have to prove yourself.
Agreed, yeah.
Whereas I think if a man walks into a bow shop, it's the opposite. Like, I'll treat you like you know what you're talking about until you say something stupid and then I see you're an idiot,
Which takes 2 minutes.
Yeah, it does. Either way, honestly, I think.
Yeah, it takes 2 minutes both ways. Yeah, both ways.
I could throw out some terminology pretty quick that shows I know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, or the fact that you're just uninterested in advice where you don't need it.
Yeah.
Proves it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's a weird space, but there's a lot of dudes out there doing that. A lot of podcasts have enabled a lot of it.
Which, it's funny because when you see a guy do it, I feel like it's super cringy. When you see a girl do it, you're like, okay, well, she's
cute. She can get away with it. Yeah. At least you have that. It's like,
all right.
That is true. All right, bless her. I can save her.
That's all right.
I can help her.
I can teach her.
But that's way true.
Yeah.
That's so true.
It's a weird.
That's something I hadn't thought about.
Just a weird situation all around.
You see a guy do it, you're like, what a douche. And then you see a girl do it, and you're like, well, she's pretty, so.
She's pretty. We'll get away with it. Yeah. Yeah, that's very true. Did you hear that, Matt?
No, I didn't know.
I crashed your podcast.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Much prettier, much better.
It's
much more entertaining. Thank y'all.
Rachel, would you ever do for a lover or likes?
Absolutely not. No offense.
Hey, Matt never tried to hump one contestant.
I kind of don't believe that.
Yeah, that's, it's kind of funny how it's a worldly thing to think about. Guys, especially, our minds are triggered like that. Like, you're having all these girls come hunt with you at your ranch. Are you trying to sleep with them? Well, worldly guys and guys in general, they might ask about y'all's podcast. Who'd y'all have on here? Caitlin
Moss.
So they might be saying like, oh, are y'all trying to sleep with Caitlin? Did y'all try to sleep with Caitlin?
Oh, fuck no. Yeah, we tried. I'm just kidding. We didn't try.
No, we didn't.
So
see, that's a bad clip.
All right,
that's a bad clip. Cut that. Jordan.
Now the question is, how many tried to sleep with you?
That's what I was gonna ask before you break.
Because I bet you more than one.
Well, I mean, I would say no, because if people were there, there's 27 people filming and running around the whole time, and
it's not you and just.
Are you talking about like I said? I went on a date afterwards on one of them.
Okay.
Months after it, and that was about if somebody was if one of the girls was trying to sleep with me,
there's an asterisk.
Yeah. Well,
okay, so I'm gonna be honest. I never really watched the show.
Most people haven't. They saw the internet trailers of what happens, and they get this idea of it.
Yeah. Okay.
Do you even know what it's about?
I kind of for love or like testing girls if they're legitimate in hunting, if they're really doing it, like they know they're passionate about it, they know what they're doing, versus like they're fake, they're doing it for the attention and the likes on Instagram.
Okay.
Right? Okay.
Well, then you got past because a lot of people thought it was a dating show.
You got past
Oh,
that.
I knew it
Okay.
wasn't a dating show.
Okay.
No. Okay. So, but I think my perception is like they all kind of stayed at maybe your cabin, your ranch, or whatever. So like, yeah, maybe you're filming a lot while you're hunting, but there's got to be hours you're not filming.
Well, the show's all filmed in 4 days, and so
Really?
they come in, they fly, and it's like they wake up early, they film a hunt, they get to the middle of the day, we film a challenge, then they film an evening, then we film a night challenge. So the girls are walking zombies because like we have a budget for outdoor. You know, whenever we
they're
film,
getting up like
the only time we really have fun is the last night. Everybody's jelly headed, and we party down the last night. And when they go to the airport the next day, we've had some fun. You know, they call them wrap parties where you just wrap the show. Everybody's having fun, but you know, for the most part, I've had 5 seasons, and it's been so like. Whenever I think back at it, it's been years. 8 years was the first season, I guess, but or second season. But whenever I produced that show, the first season, at the time, I had 7 other television shows I was producing, and
Jesus.
I was at my peak of capacity. There wasn't another thing that I could do, and that got dropped on me, and I was like, all right, Outdoor Channel, we don't need another show about me or another dude that's going to whisper in a tree and shoot another deer with a rack. Everybody sees that on your network. Let's not do that. If you want to do another show with me, I said I have an idea, and it came from my buddies in the saloon that says we need to have all these girls on here. I said I have the idea. We need to have a show about women that compete to show that they're legit into this hunting, not for the trying to get followers, but that they love it. And I said, I have this concept. So the first day of filming of season 1, I got on my, my little life cheat code is praying every morning, because as soon as I check my phone, somebody's probably going to piss me off in the work world.
Yeah.
fair.
That's like a definite. You wake up, I'm not a morning person, so I'm like always kind of like, and then you grab your phone, you're like,
Yeah, two right in a row.
yeah.
You're
So
double
the way
pissed.
to prevent that, and you want to have a happy day every day, you just go, I'm not gonna check my phone. I like to go outside and pray. So I try to find my little honey hole outside. And so that morning, I'll never forget, I said, all the girls are showing up today. I was praying to God. I said, hey, thank you for this day. I don't know why I have to produce another television show, but thank you for allowing me to steward this and produce it. And I threw out this off the cuff to God. I'll never forget it. I said, God, can this show be about you? And I never said that about a television show. Normally a television show is about selling product and getting ratings. I said, can this show be yours? Because I don't need another one. And I said, amen. Then that season we filmed it, and I'll never forget it. I was in the middle of a production meeting, day 3. We had filmed a bunch of hunts, and a dude bust into the saloon where the production meeting was. And I was like, bust in. And I'm like, is there a freaking problem going on with these women? Or is my cameraman messing up again? And he goes, and I mean, it's kind of like this dude, I didn't recognize him at first, but as soon as he got into where I could see him good, he goes, Mac, outside now. I was like, and I look at him, it's Willie Robertson. And he's, kind of, my very good friend and kind of my spiritual mentor, like whatever. We're buddies, with business partners in some ways. Anyway, he was hunting our place too at the time. I mean, there's plenty of land, so everybody can be there at once. So he's like, hey, Matt, outside. I said, dude, I'm in a production meeting. Give me about 15, 20 minutes. I thought he was worried about where he was hunting.
Right,
This evening,
He's just busting a meeting like that.
He's one of the guys. He lives an hour from our property. He kind of has a free hall pass. He hunts he just comes to hunt whenever he wants because we're friends. And I guess he's done so much for us too as a family. It's like he has a hall pass.
Yeah.
So he is outside now. I was like, hey, 20 minutes, we'll be done with this production meeting, and I'll come out there and probably tell you where you're gonna hunt. He goes, no, now. And he like opened his eyes up big.
Yeah, like you need to actually come out.
So you knew it was serious.
Yeah. I was like, okay, Dad. I'm like,
coming,
what are
dude.
you dadding me right
Calm
now?
down.
And so he goes out. We go outside, and I'm talking. He went from like mad faced, and as soon as I walked outside where nobody could see, his face relaxed and smiled and put his arm around me. He goes, walk down to the pond with me. One of the girls here wants to get baptized. And I go, what? He goes, yeah, it was Sunday that day, and Willie showed up to hunt, and we said, hey, let's have camp church. Willie will open up the Bible and tell y'all something about God. And it just so happens, I mean, I love God. I kind of get it, but I didn't know how he works. When I prayed the prayer, hey, God, let this be your show. I don't need another TV show. When I tell you God showed up, it was 3 days later. Willie showed up to hunt. He did a little bitty like 30-minute deer camp sermon. And whatever the message was, to be honest, y'all, I don't remember what he said. I was filming. I was behind my cameraman filming the content for the TV show. I was in work mode. And I noticed one of the girls was crying her eyes out. And I just like, I don't want to deal with that.
Nope.
No, thank you.
But anyway, I walked down the pond with Willie, and he says, Matt, look at what's going on, and he was like, she doesn't want anybody to know, so that's why I grabbed you out of that meeting forcefully. But she said she wants to get baptized right now and commit her life to God and all that. And he goes, she wants you to film it just for her own keepsake. I said, oh, cool. So I go down the pond, and my dad actually was in the pond with Willie, and they just baptized her. And then her fiance, who was there, jumped in and got baptized too.
So your dad and Willie Robertson
Baptized
Is Willie
two.
like a pastor or something?
No, he just loves God. I can baptize too. I love God. I can baptize y'all right now outside in that
New Windsor
that
Creek.
puddle I saw.
Yeah, you don't want not in that puddle, but
Hey, Doug, you're getting baptized tonight.
But there's no credentials.
I'm good.
You don't need credentials to baptize people. If you look at the Bible, it's like John the Baptist started it in the Jordan River. He didn't have credentials. He was living in the wild, like eating locusts and honey, wearing a loincloth. He didn't have like some sort of seminary degree. You don't.
Yeah.
You don't need anything.
Didn't have a resume.
Yeah, there's no resume needed. So
No, I thought you did. I don't know.
that's what people think because it
Yeah.
seems so official. But no, it's most of the time, if you read the Bible, anybody that got baptized, basically they're an adult. They heard the word of the gospel, which is really that Jesus is a real thing that died and for us and resurrected. So whenever you hear that news and it somewhat starts to penetrate you, one of the things that the Bible says is that maybe you should consider strongly getting baptized. And what most people are like, oh, I don't want to let a dude or another person dunk me underwater. It's a very humbling thing to do. Mm-hmm. I don't like, you ever grow up in a swim party and somebody's like
Trying to push
dunking
you
you
in the water.
underwater?
Yeah.
It reminds me of that. I'm like,
Terrified.
yeah. I'm like,
Yeah, it's a bummer usually. Yeah.
But I asked Willie, and I was like, why is it dunking underwater important for Christianity? It feels humiliating. He's like, well, Matt, I mean, God could have said, climb the nearest tree and knock on it at the top of it and say, hey, I love God. I mean,
That's true.
He goes, he chose water baptism, and I think he chose it on purpose because it humbles the person that chooses to let another person to dunk them underwater
Dunk you.
Yeah,
and,
that makes
and,
sense.
and bring them up. And he told me it's symbolic, meaning when Christ came, he could have freaking been the ruler of the earth and said, hey, y'all bow down to me. But he came in riding on a donkey and, then got slaughtered for us on the cross. And he came in humble. And I think when he, if you kind of break it all down, the whole Christianity thing is about being humble and full of humility and being a servant. And you're a big, big man. You're a man if you can be a humble servant because you're laying down your ego.
Right.
So long story short, for Lover Likes, it was a gift. It was God took over that show. And he showed, like when I gave it to God, 3 days later, 2 people were baptized. And then if you fast forward, if you would ever watch the show and how much God is talked about from the women, it's not from me. It's the women who were randomly selected that showed up. They hunted hard, they killed big deer, and they all gave thanks to God. And I'm like, I was like, God, it is your show. I was just the guy that everybody thought I was trying to
Pop all these hot chicks.
Yeah.
Sorry, I had to throw that in there.
I thought you were praying for something else.
All right, so I will say, I do appreciate you. I'm sorry for hounding you this entire episode so far on the show, but I do appreciate you being here and just being like talking about it because that does say a lot about you but I will say we've had a lot of laughs over the premise of that show over the years.
I hope y'all have
A lot.
We have. Because when we talked at the show at Deer and Beer Fest and we were like, hey, so we've said some shit about you. You're like, oh, good. And I'm like,
You're supposed to.
Yeah. And, but it's like part of what makes you a good business person. It's like, it's a lot. And I feel, I don't know how you'll take this. I feel like you do a lot of marketing stunts. Like, I'll be honest, I kind of hate the hammock thing, shooting deer out of the hammock. I don't hate it.
Let's talk about weird hunts.
I see what you're doing. I see what you're doing. All right, let me back up a little bit.
Give me your, because I get it.
Rewinding.
I want to know about y'all more because I've been talking so much on this.
No, this is great.
I want to hear what
You're the
y'all are about, and because what's going to come down to, how were you brought up hunting and raised hunting? Because once I hear about your story, then I want to hear about what you think about my weird hunts, because I would like to just know the context.
For sure. That's great. Initially, all right, our show first is a weird bridge between our hunting, where we always try to be as ethical as possible, and we always try and show off hunting as clean as possible. Now, have we slipped up? Of course, has everybody slipped up with that? Of course. But I think we're the bridge because our podcast is considered unhinged and a little raunchy because it's hunting camp, but we make sure our hunting is clean. Like, I grew up with hunting with a guy that was a measurer for Pope and Young, a representative for Pope and Young. I've been a measurer for Pope and Young since I was 19. I'll be 34 next week, I think. And so it's like my adult hunting passion has always been ethics first and all this. So, and I think we're all kind of on that same trajectory.
Seriousness.
So the reason why
What state?
Illinois and Iowa.
Okay.
Iowa.
So
Midwest.
Midwest based.
Grew up hunting the Midwest.
Yep. Very much so. And kind of what I bring up the hammock thing, and I like where this conversation is going. We just had a guy on a couple months ago. His whole thing, he came in here. Oh God, you guys would probably go at each other. Maybe not. I don't know. His whole thing is, in general, hunting should not be on the internet at all.
Okay. Where's he from?
He's from right around Chicago area.
Okay.
Suburb area. He was like a wannabe influencer gone, Matt Ranella style. Like, I hate everything about hunting in the internet, and we're bad.
Steve Ranella or Matt?
Matt, his brother. Matt's like an angry old guy who hates the internet and people that make money through the hunting industry.
I got you.
Yeah. So this dude was like one of his he had the same similar mindset. So he came in saying like posting a picture of you and a white-tailed buck on the internet hurts hunters more than it does the opposite. And I didn't agree with him, but I get the extremes. And I kind of think like maybe some of the hammock stuff kind of touches into those extremes a little bit. Like, I don't necessarily think like when I'm not trying to compare you this. That was a bad time of analogy. All right, I'll skip that because I can control it. I haven't said it yet. See what I did? I thought it. And normally I say just what I think, but I caught it that time.
Who you want to table the hammock hunt then?
To me, I don't love it, but I get it.
You love it or like it?
I don't. Neither. I don't love or like it.
Oh, it's an option.
All right, so.
But I get what you're doing.
No, I love that you watched it at least, because that means that you at least gave your time. Because at the end of the day, this is working class bow hunter, right? Mm-hmm. So what's the most valuable thing on our life right now?
Time.
So don't think that we're all.
Sorry, we got a problem. We got a fruit fly problem in this place.
They love
their wine.
My wine.
Yeah.
Which I'm drooling over bush lattes here.
Yeah, we're sorry.
They're really cold.
Gluten allergy here.
Gluten liquid.
So anyway, back to the hammock hunt. So how can I say this to people that grew up hunting in the Midwest? Okay. So I grew up watching monster bucks, and I grew up kind of watching Outdoor Channel, and I grew up watching, all these juries and big names killing all these giant bucks in cornfields and these little strips of timber.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, my first deer hunt was 5 years old. Okay. You know when I killed my first deer? 14.
Okay.
So my dad and my uncle, my grandfather would drag me to the woods every weekend.
I got your hammock picture pulled up.
So whenever you go, that's the picture I chose to pick to trigger everybody. So
okay, yeah.
You just did a real
thank
good
you.
job.
It worked. Hey, you did it. You did it.
So that was by design. So anyway, so when I grew up hunting, everybody I grew up hunting with, my uncle, my grandfather, my dad, we would all hunt Louisiana deer. We would not see any deer. And then we go home at night to the camp we had a single wide trailer as our hunting camp. Mm-hmm. And it was a used single wide trailer like most folks. Like it was nothing special, but it got the job done. Mm-hmm. Or some people are in tents or whatever, a fifth wheel, whatever. So we would have a VCR tape of monster bucks. And we would watch Milk River. We would watch the Midwest.
Right.
And we're sitting here watching it as a bunch of Louisiana coon-ass rednecks watching this. We're like, we don't ever see deer like that. Ever.
Yeah.
Ever.
If we see one.
And so I grew up watching all these Midwest and Milk River guys with a bow shooting all these giants. And I'm like, man, I'd love that. Man, I'd love that. But when I would walk outside of our trailer camp and go to we had a hunting club with 20,000 acres with probably 300 members.
Yeah.
Running dogs for deer was what we did. There was no deer. So I never
Because of
shot.
that, probably?
Well, no, just there was no population. They reintroduced in the 50s or 70s.
Oh, okay.
There was no deer in Louisiana until they reintroduced. So you got to understand, as a kid growing up, you want to shoot the big deer that you watch on TV at night because you go hunting all day with seeing zero deer, and you're let down, and then you go put on a VCR tape and Bill Jordan or whoever, or the juries or whoever in the Midwest is just shooting giants.
Yeah.
And they're even like, you see kids shooting giants, and I'm like, golly.
I just want to shoot a giant.
I just want to shoot a deer, not a giant. And I'm like, so I grew up from 5 years old to 14, never shooting anything, but hunting every weekend, not missing. And I never never got to shoot a deer. So whenever we get to the hammock hunt, and I can understand why it's so polarizing to the Midwest, because to me, to pull off a hammock hunt, it's kind of like, okay, you have to know, okay, the backstory. I didn't grow up getting to see big deer. I didn't grow up, whitetail hunting was almost impossible. Everybody duck hunted. So whenever you get to the hammock hunt, we got fortunate enough when I was, my dad sold his trucking company. We had just started getting our group of companies going, Wild Game Innovations and all these other companies we own. We started to kind of bloom, and my dad had a partner. They bought a timber property, and we started to hunt it. And there was 0 deer on it. So fast forward to management, food plots, feeding deer, letting young bucks go so they can grow. We started to have a lot of deer. And I was like, okay, this is awesome. Now I'm in my upper 20s, early 30s. I'm like, or mid 20s to early 30s. That was the era where we saw a bloom of great hunting. And so whenever I started to gun hunt, we had an awesome property. It was great. We were making Wild Game Innovations attractants, filming for our TV show. We wanted to sell Acorn Rage, so we would say, all right, let's pour out Acorn Rage on the ground and shoot a big buck. I would go get in a box blind. That's how we grew up hunting. Everybody puts out bait, whether it be corn, rice bran, whatever. So I go film it, boom, shoot a big buck. And then, dude, when I tell you I made up for lost time, I made up for lost time. Whenever it came for my time, I got mine. I started shooting deer like I wanted to shoot deer but I never got to my mid 20s, but I put in 15 years before.
Yeah.
You're playing catch up.
I was playing catch up in a bad way. Like I was like, look, I'm going to shoot as many deer as I can because this is unbelievable. This is the most, I cannot believe I get to step foot on this property and hunt.
Yeah.
And so, whenever it came down to it, we were filming for TV at first, and I started noticing TV started to kind of dissipate. It's still there, but it's just not as relevant.
Yeah, it's not the same.
So about 5 years ago, when it started to go a little bit, like a wounded duck, it's going down. We don't know where it's going to go. We hope it can survive. We don't know. So I was like, well, I had a dream, and I was like, God gave me an idea to start doing a different form of hunting. And it was right, in this transition of TV going down and the internet rising. And I said, I woke up and the dream was vivid. It said, Matt, you need to push a full body buck mount on a tricycle down all of your food plots and try to get a buck to fight you and shoot him with an arrow.
Sorry.
And I'm not trying. This is real. I know you laugh, but that was my dream.
It's hard not to laugh at that.
Yeah.
And I woke up.
Man, we got different dreams.
And so
If I dreamt that, dude, I'd wake up like, what in the hell?
So out of the box, bro.
How many beers did I drink last night?
I love it though. I love it though. I love it in a weird way though.
I know you are, but
tell you, I'm being so real right now. Like this is the realest. So
I do believe you that you're being real.
yeah.
I'm buying it. I am buying it.
So I literally woke up and I said, okay, God, where am I going to go get the full body buck? Where is a tricycle? And where am I going to go?
I'm sorry. I'm not laughing at you. I'm just, it's so wild.
Time out. Where the hell did you find a tricycle?
So I go to we have a barn, like a equipment barn at our ranch. And it's like a 300 or 400 yard walk down from the house. I said, I'm going to check out the barn.
For a tricycle.
I freaking flip open the doors. There is a full body buck mount full of cobwebs up against the wall with we had a truck in there. My dad had an extra hunting truck because another side story. We'll get there later, but
yeah.
it's a funny one. But so there's a full body buck mount full of cobwebs from another TV show that we did called Country Bucks. It was right after Duck Dynasty. So we had this full body buck mount because we were catching poachers on another show. It was realistic. And I said, that's the full body buck mount.
How many holes were in it?
No, it was lightly used.
Okay,
I
yeah.
thought you
It
were
was
gonna-
in,
Just a couple.
I thought you were going to say it was leaning up on a tricycle. And I was like, you got to be shitting me.
Around the corner, there was all of my nieces and nephews had bikes, but there was one tricycle. And I said, oh my God. I grabbed the cobweb buck, and it was, when I told you, like a glove, I put it on the handlebars of the tricycle. It fit like perfect. I was in 3 seconds pushing a full body buck on a tricycle. And I said, and so I called my camera guy because we were filming normal hunts back then.
Yeah.
And like, I called him. I said, hey, come here a little earlier today. We got to spray paint a tricycle and let the paint dry and so it won't smell too bad. And we got to zip tie it. We got a project to do because we're going to push a full body buck mount down the high line with a tricycle. He goes, Matt, are you serious? I was like, yeah, I'm dead serious.
Yeah, God wants me to do it.
Didn't throw that out there. Did not throw that out there.
Not yet.
But
I had
You
a
should have.
I
He'd have been like,
I had a dream.
All right.
what are you praying?
well, that, you know what's funny is
You
like
better lay off the peyote.
you got to know the guy I called is so dry. Like he's just such a dry dude. Like when I said to do it, he questioned me once for like 3 seconds maybe. He goes, all right, I'll be there. He showed up. I got zip
Okay,
ties,
you pay
Matt.
him.
I got spray paint. He actually showed up with supplies. He's like, and so we pushed that full body buck mount for 18 days. When I tell you it was the worst hunt, you would push a buck mount and you would spook every deer out the food
You're
plot.
telling me pushing a deer on a tricycle
Every day.
isn't fun?
Oh,
For face value,
it
it looks
was
like a
for
good time.
15 seconds when a buck came in to fight me. Because, like, you get the right wind, the right situation, you got the right topography. You show up with that buck. I had one buck come in, just stiff-legged, swollen,
Pissed.
hair on end, like ears pinned back. I was like, this is happening. And then, like, that was like day 12. Dude, I pulled back my bow, and he was 30 yards, maybe. Missed him. He was coming into me. So, anyway, fast forward 18 to 20 days. I shot a buck behind the tricycle. And then it's kind of casual.
It sounds crazy.
Yeah. So
Sounds fucking
you
insane.
fast forward, and this is where the God stuff comes in because, so you got to imagine I'm from the old school TV world
Right.
where if you get 1 million viewers a month, you were crushing it.
Yeah.
Whatever. So I do this hunt, and then I bring in my editor and I edit it like I would a TV show. And he goes, Matt, what is this for? Like you're like over my shoulder daily dialing this edit in. I'm like, we're going to make it perfect. We're going to release this on the internet. He goes, on the internet, you're going to put this you did 20 days of filming. Now you're at 12 days of editing and you're going to do this for the internet. I go, yeah, I'm going to see this through. And he goes, all right. Because he's one of those editors that gets pissed off. I'm like, hey, can you change the music right here and put a transition? And, I don't know if y'all know editing stuff,
yeah.
but it's like, it's a pain in the ass.
Right.
And it's time. It just sucks time. So he's done. Like, he doesn't want to edit anymore. I'm still grinding. I'm like, edit, get it perfect.
Yeah.
Whenever I hit post on Facebook, I posted this hunt, tricycle buck hunt.
Yeah.
The very same year I was praying for a couple million views on TV, I hit post. We had 10 million views on that one hunt. And God was like, you see what I'm doing here? You need to kind of listen to me. So that very hunt taught me the lesson that the internet that no longer cares about regular buck hunting unless it's a giant or something, a freak of nature happens where a bobcat scares a buck out to his bedding area and you shoot him. You got to have something crazy that nature happens to, either it's a giant buck or a freak of nature that'll go viral on the internet and produce views. But God showed me years ago, if you just take a different weird tactic and execute on that and it actually works or doesn't, you'll get the viewership maybe 100 times of what a tree stand hunt might.
Yeah.
And in my world, I'm a manufacturer of hunting products. So I film to promote products that I'm a part of. So if I'm going to be in TV and social media production, it matters if people watch or not.
Yeah, whether they love or hate it, basically.
Because if you're from the Midwest and you got a feeder, you know what's so funny? Like, if y'all grew up hunting the Midwest and you're hunting a cornfield.
Right, I get that. I get that conversation.
Us Southerners are not that dumb. We talk a little slower, but we're like, these son of bitches are hunting a cut cornfield.
But we're mad at
They're
baiting.
mad at us for using a corn feeder. They talk about hypocrites.
Yeah.
So
I get that perspective.
I'm like, you plant a food plot and hunt a cornfield. We plant a food plot, hunt a corn feeder. Like,
yeah, right. That makes sense.
and then, now when what I'm saying is, regardless, is it legal? I hunt legal. Is it ethical? I hunt ethical to make sure the animal can get shot and expire quickly.
Yeah.
Now the ethical thing will come to where are you from? Or if you're from the Midwest and you don't know what feeder hunting's about or baiting, you're gonna hate my ethical Southern ways that my grandfather taught me.
Yeah, I see that, but I guess like when I say ethical from our perspective is like, is it done? Well, one, legally, right, is the obvious thing, but it's like, and we understand. Like, I'm going to hunt Georgia in 2 weeks.
You're from the Midwest. You better not use bait or hunt a feeder.
No. What I'm getting at is,
you to.
Oh, I won't. I'll tell him. Matt Busbice doesn't want me to. You got a tricycle out here somewhere I can get on?
Hell, give them them.
But no,
Here's my supply list.
I mean, like, we've hunted South Africa. Feed and water is what we're on.
Damn you cheater.
Yeah,
you such a cheater. That's what the Africans do.
But I don't think that's the ethical line. Like, and I don't necessarily think that riding on a tricycle with a decoy is unethical because you did it legally and you shot a deer. Now, I guess what I'm getting at the question is like when I talked about that dude that was like, hunting's bad for the internet, and I don't want to be that guy, and I'm not saying that I think that what you did is bad, but do you ever think about like, oh, this is a bad look for non-hunters because a lot of them are seeing it if it got that many views, like, but not also I'm asking it to kind of play devil's advocate a little bit because I see that sliver a little bit, but I think hunting is fine on the internet at the same time. Does that make sense?
No, it's such a great question because so in my comment section of the weird hunts, there's a typical response and it'll be I have a list. So it'll be, hey, you're hunting over bait. Hey, you're a vagina. You use a crossbow. Hey, you use a feeder. You suck. Or, hey, you promote women. We don't, I've had a lot of people hate on me for lover likes and promoting women. Hey, I like to promote God in my films. And then they'll be like, hey, why? I don't need that stuff shoved down my throat.
What's number one? Like, what's the most common, like,
my dad. Like, my dad, I get a lot of hate from my dad from his poaching incident. It was an accident where he accidentally shot a calf elk in the face on accident. He was shooting at a bull. The bullet went rogue, hit a calf 60 yards behind. He was in the scope shooting. But if you read the article, it makes my dad look like a villain. Long story short, I don't necessarily want to go into that. But I get a lot of hate from my dad. A lot of hate from baiting.
Still in comments?
Oh, yeah.
On your dad?
I mean, I can't post anything. without you poacher, you stupid poacher.
Oh, really?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's like I wasn't even that. But anyway, so my list it's such a genuine, honest list that I'm proud of getting hate, and I own it because I look at the list. I'm like, yeah, that's me. So my dad, him and my mom made a baby, so it was me. Mm-hmm. So my dad has a lot of hate. I catch it because he's not on the internet. So secondly, baiting. My first company that I helped start is Wild Game Innovations. We made bait to bring in deer. Half the country hates baiting who are hunters because they think it's cheating. I don't. I grew up getting taught by my grandfather and my great uncle.
It's normal.
Well, most of the South can bait, right?
It's legal. Yeah. So the third thing is feeders. Oh, we use a feeder. You suck. You that's cheating. No, I grew up hunting feeders. That's fine. It's good. It's ethical. Then you start to get into crossbows. Well, we bought a crossbow company. That's how I got my start in the industry. I'm okay with it adopting. You take a kid that can't pull back a bow and they shoot a crossbow, or an elderly person doesn't have the strength. The crossbows are great once you get over your ego. Just like, side note for the working class bow hunters, I love working class people, but the bow hunter world has the biggest egos in the world because
there's a high nose.
When recurve hunters had to see that compound hunters were coming, it was the same fight.
It's the same, yeah.
So then you have compound hunters talking about these crossbow hunters. So anyway, I get hate for crossbow hunting. I'm okay with that. I own a crossbow company.
We throw a lot of shade on. The thing is, like, when I say we throw shade, it doesn't mean that we're not open-minded to the conversation, too. Like, but like you're right, what you just said. It's like a lot of this stuff, I'm fucking tired of talking about it. You know what I mean? It's like, how often are we gonna talk about? Like, we've said our piece on crossbows, what we think, all that stuff. It's just like same way you're explaining on the other end of it. Like, how long are we going to have that thing? I get it on both sides. And I think we're all tired of it from both sides.
It's been a tireless debate. And it sucks is
it's just I'm just to the point. I can speak on Illinois and archery season, what I think should be and shouldn't be. Other than that, if you're in Louisiana, I would do whatever the fuck you want.
Well,
nothing I can do.
You know what sucks is
does that make sense though? Kind of I think everybody's exhausted.
The deeper exhaustion note is this: every state is broke. Okay, Listen to me. There's no money. We're all going into huge debt. So, what the crossbow industry is doing is introducing legal crossbow hunting and archery season to raise what? License sales for the state. So if you want to get into a debate about if you're a more manly man for shooting a bow versus the crossbow and you shouldn't be, you need to go to the source. The problem is money. Money is directing what happened. There's states that are going to allow crossbow hunting because they need money. And don't hunters want us protecting hunting rights and preserving our hunting land and our what we love and our rights? So crossbow is probably going to contribute money to the states for buying the licenses, which is going to preserve our legacy, which we want to pass down to our kids. So it's tough to talk to a diehard bow hunter at the bow shop that can't believe you shoot a crossbow, man.
Yeah.
Well, you don't understand the big picture.
It's tough all around.
It's because there's so much ego involved.
Yeah. Let's just skip crossbows. Okay. I don't want to have the conversation.
The list is many.
The list is many.
So the list is, why do I hate Matt Busbice? It's his dad. It's his dad. It's his baiting. It's his feeders. He promotes women hunting with his show For Lover Likes. It's his he promotes God. He promotes crossbows. He promotes private land.
You can't be that guy.
Nah,
that's
no one likes that.
Everyone, we
can't get away from that either.
Yeah, that's a thing. That's a thing with us.
Well, let me say this: I'm from the South, not from the Midwest. The way everybody grew up hunting in the South is that it's all timberland that owns massive acreage. There's not the private land's very expensive, and then the timber companies own massive tracts. So most of the times, if you were to have the ability and can afford it, you get in a hunting club.
Right. Yeah.
And you pay whatever, $1,000 a year, $6,000 a year, or $500 a year, and you get your hunting club. If you have private land that you own, it's just a huge luxury. And then there is public land, and it's tough hunting. So I respect the public land community because they're a better hunter. If they're going to grind it out, public land, and they kill a big buck, that's a huge accomplishment.
Definitely. Yeah.
But in Louisiana, to go deer hunting public land to be successful it's just, you can go out there and do it. It's just you got to look at the ability to do it. And I just grew up where we had that single wide hunting trailer and that, I don't know, $500 a year club access to where we hunted with 300 members and
That's
shared
crazy,
it.
yeah.
We shared 40,000 acres, and I never shot a deer there, but I was there having fun, eating my bear claw honey bun in the Ford Bronco.
Yeah.
Freezing my butt off, running dogs. It's just a different. Every state's different. So I don't know if y'all want to go into public land, we can.
It's just we've had that conversation a lot, and
A million times.
pushing 700 episodes. It's I believe there's tactics to both, but we've never discredited effort and accomplishment on public land. That's obviously big anywhere you go, but I think a general blanket statement on both ends is saying just because you have private ground hunting is easy, because we all know that's not true. But I think people who understand what hunting is like don't make really understand what hunting is like, don't make blanket statements like that generally.
You can't.
You can't. But I will say, Matt, I appreciate you talking about everything we've mildly challenged you on, so honestly, and you're full of enthusiasm, and you're a businessman, and you're smart, and you're good at it, obviously, by what you've done. So I just don't want to forget that. It is nice to have you here and talk openly about it and not be, well, you guys called me a douchebag. Fuck you guys. You could have easily done that, and it would probably be justified,
I'd be like, oh, all right.
So I want to give you the credit there, man, because
Get it.
you easily could have.
Well, let me ask y'all a question. Thank you for saying that.
Yeah.
All right. So this is a general blanket statement about public and private land. And this is the way we can sum this up. If you grew up hunting on public land or just 4 acres of private land, or you did a hunting club where you paid the minimal amount, and let's just say you grew up and you started working hard and you made some money, what's the first thing you would buy?
Hunting ground.
Yeah, dude. All day.
Is it universal?
Yeah, for sure.
Is it a blanket statement?
Yeah.
10,000%.
All right, I think we just solved that problem.
Yeah,
because if I say that with humbleness, I had grown up with leased hunting club land at the minimal amount that my family could afford because it was better than public land.
So when you say that, does that just box you in? Okay, you get this much in a hunt club, you get this much access in a hunt club.
This was called Sand Hill Hunting Club, and Sand Hill had a bunch of members, and I think it was 40,000 acres. I was so young, and it was known as a dog hunting club. So we would run dogs for deer, and because we couldn't see deer still hunting, you got to sit on a pipeline or on a. We didn't even have food plots. We go,
Yeah.
You didn't see anything.
Just a long clear cut where the pipeline ran
Yeah,
through.
you just don't. So it was a dog hunting club, and that's how we hunted growing up. And we would pay our fee to be a part of this, and nobody shot a lot of deer. So it's one of those things that now that I look back with perspective, I'm like, wow, thank you for my dad that brought me to the woods, whether it was the most ethical way from the perspective of a Midwest hunter or a hunter in Canada or from the East Coast or West Coast, but in Louisiana, we ran dogs for deer. And he brought me to the woods. And we still hunted, but we dog hunted. And we tried to shoot at deer. And we tried to have fun in the outdoors. And that's what got me inspired to want to do it more. And then once I found bow hunting at the 21-year-old age, I fell in love with bow hunting. And so it changed me. But from 5 years old to 20, we were just trying to hunt, hunting club land where you can kind of free for all it.
Yeah.
And in some hunting clubs, they'll have specific spots like do not go to this spot. That's spoken for.
Zones. And
They'll try to get more organized. So in the Midwest, I don't know how it works for y'all, but
there's hunt clubs, but I don't think it's the same as like a Southern hunt club. And they're not common. You hear about one?
You hear about them very often up here.
Yeah. The lease program is like what you got to get on up here,
Really? You lease your own property and bring in your own people.
Yeah,
you would allow.
Yeah,
one.
I'm going to split a lease with 3 or 4 buddies. That's the most common. That'd be as close as a hunt club as it gets in the Midwest.
Well, so the public land versus private land discussion is summed up to, and I would say this to anybody. I would say this to the badassest public land hunter that ever walked the earth. I would say, look, I don't know your financial situation. If you're Joe Blow, public land badass, if you come into money one day, or if you already have it, would you consider buying some private land to hunt for yourself? And I would think, as an American, most Americans would say, "You damn right, I'm buying my own land."
I would agrry.
And I'm not saying that to be belittling to anybody. It's just, I think
it's
that's
the
a
American
natural
dream as an outdoor kid.
As a hunter, that's what we all do this shit for, and to grow up to do is own your own piece of ground.
Yes.
Let's talk about it a little further too, because like in your opening statement, like working class bow hunter, right? So I'm full time. I've been full time for almost 3 years with this. Eric and Jordan, we just hired them. You know when people we're no longer working class now. So, and I find it doesn't really bother me because it's like, well, I just know everybody would do the same shit we would do if they were in our situation.
Yeah, I see where you're going.
So it's like, okay, so I always use Lee Lakoski as a good example because his story's out there of like moving from Minnesota and taking a chance, and everyone hates on him. And I've said this a lot on the podcast, but I think it's still important. Okay, someone is successful and works so hard. Sometimes you can be so successful that people think your hard work to get there doesn't matter anymore.
Oh, yeah.
That's so common, and it's fucked up.
Yeah.
Look at Jimmy John.
It's fucked up. Yeah. Jimmy John is in here talking about how he smelled like salami for years and had no idea he was a millionaire until his accountant's like, "Hey, did you know you're a millionaire?" And he's like, "Fuck, I am. I still smell like bread and salami." You know?
Swiss cheese.
Yeah.
So it's like, is Jimmy John, is he no longer working class?
Dude, that's such a
I hate it.
great thing to bring up, because think about it. In today's inflation rates, because of what's going on of printing money isn't as valuable as it used to be. And we're so spoiled being born in the United States.
We are spoiled with that. That's true.
If you were born with a silver spoon being born here, you can go basically, if you want to work hard, you can go get a job doing what you want to do. Now, some of it sucks because you just don't like some of it. But most of the time, I kind of like sales. I can go get a sales job. Or I kind of like engineering, or I kind of like putting things together. I'm a mechanic. You can go figure it out or go to a trade school. There's ways to make money in America. And we're so blessed to do that. So then when you see the success come, it almost is like other countries or other people say like, "Oh, it's easier in America. You can make money at doing what you love." So to bake it from I'm trying to say from a macro, from a worldly look, we look like spoiled ass Americans because, these people can go do these things, build a car, go work the railroad and make all this money and have a house. We can't do that here. They're spoiled Americans.
Yeah.
Well, guess what? It still work. And they don't see that perspective. But then you get micro level. If you just zoom into the U.S., it's the same thing.
Yeah.
If you work hard in the hunting industry and you have success, there's going to be people saying, well, shoot, you don't work hard.
Yeah.
It doesn't take anything to do what you did. And so I feel that comment because whenever we did our little thing, we were making deer feed in our garage.
Yeah.
And do you think somebody just came out the blue and walked up to our door and knocked on and said, hey, I'm Joseph Locklanier from the hunting industry.
Here's
And I would
$1
like
for your
to-
product.
I know him actually.
Yeah, he's a great guy.
Yeah.
Joseph Locklanier is you need to
If you don't know him, you need to know him.
add him on
Never met
LinkedIn.
him.
Yeah, I did.
I'd like to meet him.
Yeah,
So
now you can't meet him. You're not cool enough. You're not
Joseph
hardworking enough.
Locklanier, it does not offer anybody a ticket to make it in the hunting industry to make any money.
Congrats, you did it. Here you go.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there's
yeah.
nothing.
Yeah, welcome.
And that's what when I'm out and about at country concerts and our trade shows, everybody's like, hey Matt, I know y'all did all those companies that y'all had. How do I do that? I'm like, you got to go to work. You got to start either building a product or learning a craft and get a job at a hunting company, because we didn't do anything without first going to work. So the answer to the thing about all the people in America saying anybody in the hunting industry that has success, well, they sold out, they're not working class. No, the first step into the hunting industry is go to work. Start doing something that contributes to GDP, gross domestic product. Go get a job if you can at a hunting industry or something near it, or if you're lucky enough to start up a company, to do a craft or a trade or a service or a product in it, then you can have step one, and that's how it starts.
For sure.
There's no
100%.
handouts.
Yeah, that's the best way to put it. I don't know if there is another way to put it at a basic level, really. It's like, that's what it is, you know?
How did y'all start? I mean, what was the first foot in the door for working class bow hunter? Like, did Joseph Locklanier say, hey,
Yeah, he called us. He called us, and that was it. Really, it changed after he called us.
You.
Joseph Locklanier. We need an AI of Joseph Locklanier. Can we pull up an AI portrait of Joseph
please,
Locklanier?
dude?
That'd be great. We'll just frame it.
If he looks like a hunting entrepreneur, like if he has like some sort of camo suit,
we could AI that, and then we'll all
A
just
camo
have
suit
it.
and a cowboy hat.
And then everybody that knows will have a picture of
a cowboy hat.
Cowboy hat for sure.
Yeah, why not?
And a
He's
stogie.
from Texas.
Yeah, it's a big Texas oil money
Yep.
investor, Joseph Locklanier.
That's all he
wants to
does.
help you on your next.
That name sounds like an old guy from Texas.
Invest in sad kids that want to make it in the hunting industry.
That's all he does.
You guys look sad.
It'll just be like a thing where
Here's some money.
Here's some money.
it'll be like an inner hunting industry Illuminati thing where you have a picture of Joseph Locklanier hanging in your office. Everyone's like, oh, you know
It's
Joseph.
the handshake photo with Joseph Locklanier.
It's you with him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Just as a young lad
You
trying to
done
make
made
it.
it.
Listeners need to chat GBT Joseph Locklanier and AI, and please post it in the comments of this
Someone's
episode.
gonna know someone named Joseph Locklanier. They're like, "Hey, he's right here."
We should
Like, what the hell?
That's my uncle.
That's funny. Yeah, for sure. Joseph's like, will these motherfuckers leave me alone? I don't know what WCB is or for
What
love or
the
for
hell?
likes is.
Everyone's got a picture of him in their freaking
Yeah.
office.
I bet it's exactly what we're explaining. I don't know where we go from that, but that is true. Oh, how we get our foot in the door? I don't know. He called us, really. But staying after it, really. But also, too, we all ate shit at our own job, our day jobs forever, and it was a passion project. And I mean, that's the story, to a point. But
That was a quick version.
Yeah, it was the quickest version, yeah.
But staying after it, persistence.
yeah, we have not missed a week in almost a decade of podcasts and a lot of other shit, too. Like, capitalizing on opportunity. But I think really the core of it, like I think you can relate to, is just doing what you want and being who you are, like unconditionally to a point. Like, I think you would probably say we're the same exact people right now talking to you while being recorded on the show as we were at our booth last week. Mm-hmm. Like I that's one thing we are very prideful on. Like you get us no matter where we're picked up and placed. If that makes sense.
No, that's
I feel that same way about you from what little I do know about you from the 2 times we've talked in person.
Yeah, this is the third. I mean, we had the trade show. We had the bar over there.
Well, this is the same night.
Yeah. Yeah, second day. I agree.
Yeah. But you don't seem different off from when we talked to you at the show. You don't seem different.
Well, that's because
you're really good at fooling people.
Yeah, trigger.
Oh shit!
He had us the whole time.
You know what
Joseph
this?
Laughlin.
Are you Joseph? Is your name Joseph?
You what?
You're the guy.
The guy?
The Joseph Laughlin guy.
Joseph Laughlin. He's my agent.
He's my agent.
I'm Googling that. Is that a real person you know, or did you
No, that was from the clouds. ChatGPT will tell us who
How do you
he
spell
is.
Joseph?
Joseph. That's how he's hidden.
Lock?
I was thinking lock like Loch.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like it's Lochner.
Lock linear.
Lock linear.
Like that?
I think that's
Lochner?
about right. I was thinking
That first guy.
E-A-R.
Oh, he's got a bakery.
Near?
Yeah.
Oh,
Lock
like near.
linear.
Like you were near him.
Yeah.
Obituary.
Obituary's dead.
Illinois. New
Why does
Windsor.
it say New-
Why does it say New
Hold on.
Windsor? Did you ever dream about this?
No. Images. Do images. Yeah. Oh my God.
That's close.
No, wait, go over.
That's
Right
not
there. No,
bad.
go over to the right. Right there with the dog.
That's him.
That's him.
Holy
With a
shit.
cowboy hat.
Oh man, this is a guy from a dog. He's in the dog industry.
He's from New Windsor.
Dog News, March 2015.
If he had a cowboy hat, he's investing into
Holy
any
shit.
hunting endeavor.
He must have been real into these little. Those are
Poochies.
gay ass dogs. I'll say that. Puppies. Joseph. All right. Laughlin here.
That was Lochner. I don't know.
Lochner. Oh,
You see?
Lochner. No.
Did you mean?
You know what?
We might have a person that's not yet invented. Lochner.
Lachlan.
Okay, benchmarks. I don't know.
I think somebody with the last name Lachlan is in the dog industry.
Oh yeah, they got a kennel.
All right. Well, we got our guy. He's going to be an AI
Big
guy.
money in the dog industry.
All right,
So,
when I get
makes
back,
sense.
I'm gonna go to the bathroom, or if we want to close it out, but I can address the hammock hunt when I get back.
I think we kind of did. You kind of did with the tricycle hunt.
Okay.
I think I got the same answer. I thought, right?
Well, the hammock hunt was from a true legit back injury. I couldn't.
Yeah,
sit-
because so people don't know we're like 2 hours in. So like when you took,
your
we
back's
can
probably
keep
killing
going.
you.
That's fine. But when you had to go take a bathroom break, you had to stand up for a minute. That's when Rachel jumped in because you have a back injury.
Yes.
So if you want to talk about that, by all means.
No, if we need a wrap, but the hammock hunt was legit from a back injury. I was on the toilet taking a number 2, and
Understandable.
I had my cell phone like most men do. You check your phone while you're doing business.
Yes. Yep.
And so I got a text from somebody, and my back had been hurting that week bad. And I was like, well, I'm going to reply to them real quick. And it was kind of like this trifecta. I was taking a number 2. My back was kind of hurting. And I had a text to reply to. And then a sneeze hit me out the blue. And I went, I sneezed. And and things came from both ends. I hit the ground. I rolled off the toilet and I couldn't stand up anymore. And
You hurt your,
This really happened, or are you fucking
no,
with
this
us?
is true.
you hurt your back taking a shit.
Yeah. 100%.
And sneezing.
No,
A
not
sneeze.
just hurt, injured badly, like surgical. So
Really?
yeah. So I will never forget this because it was recently, last hunting season. I sneezed on the toilet. I can't walk anymore. Earmuffs, lady. How do you wipe whenever you can't even walk or sit?
You gotta get a butt sprayer.
But hey,
I made do.
but he's on the ground already.
I'm on the ground.
Oh, okay. Here.
Yeah.
And
So-
I broke my right hand once. Had to wipe my left hand.
It's tough.
Probably the same.
we're
It's
talking about
impossible.
mid
It's
toilet
actually
injury.
a
It's
lot
impossible.
harder. So I somehow get myself together, meaning clean myself up. I crawl to my kitchen of the hunting ranch. It was at my dad's and my mom's.
Thank God you were there.
Well, yeah, it didn't happen in the middle of nowhere. I could not walk, nor stand, nor sit. I can just move like this. And I get to the kitchen, and my brother is on his computer working, and I'm crawling by him. Keeps working. And I'm like, and I get to the couch, and I'm trying to roll myself onto the couch. Yeah, no,
He didn't say anything. He was like,
he's in the zone.
that'd be here.
I don't know
And,
why, but I just pictured the dog from Family Guy.
This is real. You're not fucking with us.
No, not at all. Like it is vivid. And finally he goes, "Are you really hurt? Matt, are you really hurt?" I'm like, "I'm fucking crawling for 40 yards or 20 yards down this hallway. I am hurt." I said, "Call my camera guy. I'm going to the hospital immediately." He goes, "I didn't know." I'm like, "I crawled. This is in the middle of the day."
Is that something you normally do?
No, I was like, he was just busy.
He's like, "What's up, Matt?"
He's like, he didn't. I don't know if he thought I was putting on.
Would you fall off your tricycle, Matt?
I guess he would think though if I'm putting on like a prank or something. You know?
Right,
I gotta
right.
give him that benefit.
Yeah,
of
I don't
doubt.
know, dude. After like 3 stories you told us, I'd be like, "What are you doing?"
Yeah,
dude?"
yeah. So I think he was like, "Are you serious?"
Yeah. Okay. Fair.
So anyway, my camera guy shows up. My brother was nice to me. He went and found his monopod shooting stick, and he goes, "Matt, you can have this if you need to walk."
Oh, how kind. First of all, why didn't you call 911?
Well, we're in the middle of nowhere.
Why do you call your camera guy?
Yeah,
why didn't your brother
there's
just
no
take it?
Were you trying to film
911. It's just in the middle of nowhere. And I was like, So I take his shooting stick and I hobble and they're halfway carrying me and I just lay in the back of the truck. We drive straight to the hospital and they're like, they put me to sleep like underneath anesthesia. And they take an x-ray of your spine and they're like, "Oh, you got herniated disc everywhere," or whatever. They you know what, women are pregnant, they get an epidural shot. They gave me an epidural in my disc. And I woke up and I was like, "Oh my God, I can walk," but I kind of lost feeling in my left leg. So I had a little bit of a limp, but I was out of pain. Yeah. And then I was like, I said, "Hey," my cameraman was waiting on me. I'm like, "Hey, let's go back. Let's get this hunt in." He's like, "Matt, your family is saying you have to go home and go rest. You're going to miss like a week of hunting." I said, "No, I'm not." So we're going right back to the camp. I got bucks. It's opening week. We're going back. They're like, "Yeah, but you have serious spine injuries." And I was like, "Yeah, I know, but I'm good."
Yeah, I feel great.
And so I go back to the camp, and the only way I could sleep is on a hammock. I could not lay on a bed or a couch. I could only stand up and walk all day, stand. I couldn't sit. I couldn't lay on a bed. It was either a hammock or walk around. And so whenever my girlfriend was like right there, she's like, "Matt, the only weird hunt that you can do this year is, you see that hammock in your front yard? You need to go put it in the woods." And I was like,
It's a great idea.
"You're right."
Wait a minute. So did you just hang a hammock in your bedroom and slip like that?
In the living room.
Living room. Okay.
Yeah, I fell off of it one night. It was not good.
So your back just fell apart and you had to sneeze shit and it just ruined your fucking. That's crazy. So like, are you at risk of like a fatal sneeze shit at this point?
If you ever sneeze again,
Like,
you
what's the
get it.
fix? Like, they just.
I saw you cough earlier or sneeze, and I brace. Like anytime I see somebody like go or sneeze, I'm like, careful.
That's
It can wreck.
So when you feel a sneeze coming on, are you terrified?
I hold a wall. I brace for impact because I'm telling you, I'm a decently healthy guy. You don't think a sneeze will put you in the ER?
No, one sneeze did it.
That's
minded.
crazy, dude.
Yeah, so that's the hammock hunt. And I did this picture to trigger people. I was like, I'm going to do like this model pose and put
Yeah.
a buck underneath me and say, I shot a deer from a hammock. It worked because this one hit well over 1 million views. In the first 20 seconds, we promoted our new daytime deer feeder because I shot the buck at the feeder. So it was all by design, but it was a real hunt. Yeah, there you saw the hammock whenever.
Yeah. Oh man.
So
Okay.
look, it was 12 yards to the feeder, and then I pulled up the crossbow. And the buck I thought was gone because he spooked because the hammock wiggled, but I shot him.
But
Okay,
I
so
shot him.
that makes a lot more sense. That's crazy. I thought you were gonna fuck with us. I thought you were gonna lead us astray, like the beginning story with For Love or Likes with the.
No,
Camera
that was
guy?
legit. Like that was one of the had to. Some of them are, hey, can I do this? Can I pull this off?
Right.
This one was legit.
There's a solution
This is
to
the
your
only
problem.
solution.
Okay. It's the best defense to a crazy looking hunt. But you did market it and trigger some people, and I'm sure you made money off it.
We'll see. I have startup companies that are babies, and it takes a lot to lift them.
Okay, well,
They're just a
Again,
sneeze away.
There's just a
I do
sneeze away.
appreciate your enthusiasm and honesty. That is refreshing. I think our listeners
100%.
will appreciate it. One thing we got to talk about before we get out of here. You bought Acubo,
Recently.
so you gave us an Acubo. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. I mean,
On your way to tonight, we're like, let's get this thing out and play with it because there's
let's
like
see
a
how-
phone.
he's about to get here. Let's at least use
Yeah, we
it.
gotta look like. Yeah, actually, you did catch us with our dick in our hands. We got it out and we're playing with the app. And I'll be honest, it's pretty sick.
It's pretty fun.
Like when we get done, we're all gonna go out and play. It might be.
I whooped all the butt.
It's kind of like
You saw it.
it's once you mirror it to the TV and everybody can watch. It's like arcade from
Yeah.
the studio. So. It'll probably be a thing that gets played with a lot here with our guests. Genuinely, it's fun. I'll be honest. We did a podcast with Matt Pell.
Yeah, that was the
Early
previous
on.
owner.
Early on.
We did
yeah.
one with him.
Way back when, before the phone app.
Like he,
way
he
before,
was
like-
just starting the company.
We were in our very first. Probably 8+ years ago.
Wow.
Like
That's
legitimately.
It's
You
when,
know,
it's
Matt-
when girls were posing with coolers and the Acubo on top of it.
Speaking of
for
Insta
no
famous
reason.
girls, Acubo utilized
Yeah,
a
they
lot
did.
of the girl hunters.
That
And,
might have been why we were like, "What the fuck is going on here?" But anyway, sorry.
you know, let me say this. Girls brought us together tonight.
Right there.
What the hell?
Is the episode up?
No, go back. Go back.
Hey, there's me.
137.
Where do you see it?
iHeartRadio. Down,
Down.
down, down. Right there.
Oh, 137. I didn't know we're still on iHeartRadio. March 15th, 2017.
Wow. So that's 7 years ago,
Yeah.
Yep.
going on 8.
Yeah.
So, truth be told, I don't know what y'all thought about Acubo when you had them on. I made fun of the product whenever I first was introduced to it. Now I own it because I believe in what he's doing.
Yeah.
The Acubo can introduce archery hunting to kids and allow non-hunters that are adults to experience hunting in a virtual hunting world. And my mission now is just hey, the hunting industry gave me my career and the most fun I've ever had in my life for 20 years. And I look at that business and I say, okay, that's for me. I want to be a part of that, you know, launching bows that can inspire young ones and adults to want to go try the real thing that kept me out of a lot of trouble. Like if I didn't have hunting growing up, I don't know, like I like to dabble into things growing up and get into what everybody else is doing. But I was living in the woods every weekend trying to be a hunter. So I want to help with that. My goal with Acubo is to grow a big company, but inspire as many people as I can to be a bow hunter and try it for the real thing. So, you know, to be a guest on this platform, we get to say that out loud. It means a lot to me because it's your listeners, and what I know of your crowd is the real. This is American, hardcore, working class bow hunter people. That's to me what America is. You know, there's nothing. If you're somebody that's kind of living off of the system and you don't have a job and you just get, you ain't
a real
working.
grade A faggot piece of shit.
There you go. There's
There
one.
it is. Is that the first one of the whole
That's one.
episode?
Third, right?
Third? I said gay a couple times.
Oh, that was your first F.
I did that one for you.
Yeah. Well, thank you.
You're welcome.
Proud of that.
Yeah.
But no, I believe in what America and our roots really are. We're just hard workers. So I grew up from a habitual, like, workaholics. Like, every male in my family and some women, but mostly the men, are this workaholics. That's all we do. And so that's all I do is work and work hard. And all I want to do, I'm not saying it's the best thing for kids, but I really do. I think kids, if they get introduced into things that make them work at something to achieve something, that's all we need to do. No more participation trophies.
Yeah, agreed.
Give them something that takes some work to achieve. Just like adults, give them something that takes work to achieve. The whole world gets better. Dabble in a little salt, little spice of Jesus in there, gets a lot better. And then we're going to have a good little community and a good looking country. But you start taking out work out of the equation. You get people that don't work for a living, and then you take people that don't believe in God, and you put that together. That's, to me, opposite of America. And we're in the fight right now where there's probably 40-50%, give or take, you know, there's a huge...
It's pushing there. There's litter boxes in high schools right now.
You know what
Yeah, it's
Not good.
It's
Not
weird.
good.
It's weird.
I hope it's not that big of... I
Shit's
hope
weird.
that most Americans love to work and tell their people that they believe in God. Like, that's my biggest things. And
I think it's better than it's perceived through media, especially when you get to like the sticks, rural America. There's still cat boxes in high school bathrooms.
well,
You know what it is?
Biden.
It's fucking Biden.
Biden.
You gotta. I'm not an advocate for bullying, man. I'm not, but I really am. And I don't want any kid to get bullied and feel like they don't belong. But also, if you're fucking shitting in a
You're
litter
shitting
box,
in a litter box.
you need pushed down.
I'm bullying you.
There's some area for pecking order in anything. And don't get me wrong, I don't want my kids to get bullied. I don't want your kids to get bullied.
I also don't want your kids to shit in a litter box.
I also don't want it around my kids.
And
If a
I don't want your kids to shit while on the toilet. I mean, sneeze while shitting on a toilet. 'Cause they can cause...
That's like Doug's last name. Your last name is a sneeze shit. Schmidt? That's a Schmidt.
Close, not even close.
Schmidt?
Yeah.
Schnitt?
Sneeze shit.
It's pretty close,
It's
Doug.
basically Schnitt. You schnitted. I don't know where we're going, but it's good. It's a good time. Oh, man. What I'm saying is,
Yep.
as soon as a transgender is reading books to my kids in school, the tattoo dude ends up on public news.
Can't wait to see it.
Post a
As you should.
right.
As you should.
Yeah.
And that's where, you
Over
know...
there kicking the shit out of gays on a fucking parent-teacher conference.
Well, I wouldn't say...
I can't say that,
No, I wouldn't say as you should did that, but there's the idea of protecting children.
that's right. That's the main thing.
And let me tell you, there's some stern language in that good book called the Bible about perverting a child's mind and causing a child to stumble.
Yeah.
Don't think that these people that cause that get out of here scot-free.
Right.
They have it coming because the easiest thing to do is to go after children and convince them that something's right, that's wrong. Right. And that's what I believe the enemy is up to.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's apparent.
And they've done well. They've slithered into school systems. They've slithered into government. That's what, the devil really, the devil likes bright, nice, shiny objects. Oh, government, money. Rainbows.
Doug?
Yeah, true.
Glitter, strip clubs. See?
And everything's okay. And that's the point, is that he can get into any kind of organization and convince you everything's okay. There's no rules.
Yeah.
If you want to be a cat and poop in a litter box, try not to sneeze, but it's okay.
Yeah. But if you want to, you can do it.
Just a snake.
It's a slippery slope out there. So
It is.
when y'all asked me to be on the podcast, and I was like, hey, I'll do it on one condition. Can I share a little bit about God and faith? That's honestly, that's why I'm here. Like, the businesses have been great. I mean, I am blessed to be sitting here with y'all to talk about the career I've had and the TV shows and the funny things and serious things. But if I had one thing to say to listeners, is that we're not just sitting here because of two rocks hitting in outer space. And y'all are much too good looking, perfectly good.
Oh, thank you.
Well, you're not. No, I'm kidding. You got a good mustache.
Doug's a special.
That's all I got.
I've been blessed.
We're hearing what you're putting down.
No, I'm just saying. There's just there's just a reason behind our existence, and it's not for us to eat, sleep, and poo.
Yeah.
And make
Or
money.
Yeah.
Or sneeze on a toilet. We have a real reason for being here, and it's bigger than us. So
Yeah, for sure.
That's my final message. Basically, I would say, hey, thank the listeners for even giving this 30 seconds. If you gave it 30 minutes, we appreciate you. But if you made it even the long haul, my reason for saying yes is this. I felt like there was a reason, and it's bigger than me. And it's because if I can help giving a positive encouragement of, hey, there's a God out there, give him a shot. He's real, and it'll change your entire life. It'll give you purpose and meaning, and you'll start to have joy, and you won't be looking for happiness in other areas. That's why I'm here. And I didn't want to harp on that in the beginning of the podcast, because when people hear that, they often, if they're not into that, they run. They're like, oh, I don't need to hear that. I heard that when I was in 7th grade at Vacation Bible School. My parents sent me to Baptist son of a gun preacher. I don't know. Whatever.
I know what you're saying. Yeah,
a lot of people heard about God, obviously, but I'm here to hopefully water a seed, plant a good food plot so you can kill a big buck.
I like it.
Thank God.
I get it, man. I respect it. I respect what you're saying. Yeah, and I'm like in a weird spot. I don't look like I would be. I don't consider myself a religious person, but I'm not. I don't know, but I respect the hell out of it. It's something I like when it comes to the values and all that stuff. I want my kids to be around that for sure.
Well,
with all due respect, I respect it all, and I think it's something I'll probably get into as I evolve as a person, But yeah, man, I think it's great. I think it's a good message, and we're for it, and we support it. And dude, thank you for doing this podcast, man.
100%.
Yeah, thanks for coming.
I think our listeners. I'm interested to see what people think of this episode. I think it'll all be positive stuff. We had a lot of fun. We laughed a lot. I haven't laughed like this in a while,
bro,
on an episode. So, yeah, man. So I don't know.
I could have gone another hour, to be honest. As long as we had one more, drink or two,
it helps.
It's been super fun. I know I talked way too much.
No, that's what you're supposed to do, man.
I actually am mad that I didn't ask more about y'all, because y'all triggered me, though.
That just means you gotta come back.
Oh, I'd love to.
See, here's the thing: we had to talk about what we had to talk about to make.
We didn't talk about trophy tape. We got round 2.
Fuck, we didn't talk about
round
trophy
2
tape
coming.
I'm still trying to figure out this hunting truck in the barn.
Oh yeah, you never finished that story.
The hunting truck in the barn.
Yeah, you said you
Dad's-
seen the deer there.
Oh.
There's a truck there. You're like, that's a whole other side
Yeah.
story.
Oh, maybe we saved that. The trophy tape thing, we talked off air, and I kind of explained my whole
yeah.
trophy tape thing. So,
We'll come back for that. I'll tell you why we even launched that product. It was another bar story.
oh, I bet it
Nice
is.
saloon story.
I have a feeling I know what it is, but we'll save it because there's a lot to talk about there. I think what I didn't want is everyone to listen and be like, you didn't bring up this. And there's probably shit we forgot for sure. But we'll do another one. I thought it was fun. I hope you had a good first impression and enjoyed your time here. Anytime a guest makes the effort to be here with us is a big deal.
Yeah,
for us.
huge deal.
So we're
Means a lot.
grateful
Thank
that you
you.
made it in person. Zoom podcasts, we'll do one every now and
Yeah.
again, but they're lame. We don't know
Suck
what they are.
ass.
Yeah.
So
I agree.
But yeah, man. So just
Well,
thanks again.
I hope to come back, and I
course.
appreciate all of y'all having me. Thank you, Rachel.
Yeah,
You've been the most excellent
I've
host.
been quiet.
Hey, if you want to be honest, she's the real bitch of the whole group.
She's
here.
real bad, bitch.
I will say,
No offense.
No, it's been really good getting to know you tonight briefly. I think I came in probably maybe the most critical because as a female, just what little I knew about like For Love or Likes is I feel like maybe highlighting the wrong women in the industry, where it's like really hard to get respect as a woman. But I don't know, just what little I've got to know you seem like a really cool dude. And I also really respect the fact that you showed up knowing that they have thrown a lot of shade your way. And I don't think that like anyone else that
A lot of people
has,
do that.
no one else does that. So
Well,
yeah.
thank you, Rachel. I appreciate
Pleasure to
honestly.
meet you.
Well, amen, fellas, and hopefully we do it again soon. I'll be down the road.
Yeah,
I'm
that's right.
I'm a working man right down the road in Peru, Illinois.
Yeah. Illinois, if you want to be fancy.
Illinois.
Illinois.
Oh, that's how the proper.
Yeah, if you want to pinky out a little.
I'll try to start to blend.
Yes.
Yeah.
Over time. you
Over
can start
time,
saying
yeah. I don't want to look like a phoney right off the bat. I don't like it.
no.
3
No, don't
months
do
in.
that.
We're very democratic here in Illinois. We're very proud of our gays we have here. We've encapsulated them here for their, they just,
We got a litter box
freeloaders.
out back too.
Yeah, if you got a schnick.
Don't do that here.
Yeah, don't go dying on us. Do it in Peru.
Don't come crawling in here.
Oh, hey,
So
man.
wait, the keywords, what are the takeaways? We'll end it. But it's John Lachlinier.
Joseph Lachlinier.
Joseph.
Joseph. hell is that?
Joseph Lachlinier.
That's his nickname.
Joseph Lachlinier. That's Lochlinier. Lanier. Lachlinier.
Linear.
That's fucking hilarious, and that will be funny forever.
I want a T-shirt or some sort of merch item at some point, or a business card.
Just anything that like legitimately puts a person like a. There's gonna be like he's got to get a social security number. That's gonna happen.
Okay.
That's our goal. This
I have an idea what he looks like.
I can picture.
I got it.
Yeah.
I'll show
Someone
you
will
later.
make a AI version.
I mean,
of him and put
AI
in
would
the
do it in
comments.
2
I
seconds.
want to see like a Facebook and Instagram of Joseph Lachlinier. Just
Dude, it's listeners will make all that
Just
shit.
handing out big checks.
yeah. Hey, it's like his bio says, always hungry, always looking, hunting investments and property or private land.
What season would you be on for Lover or Likes? What season would you be on?
If I do another one,
Yeah,
6.
he can be the
Oh, gosh.
new host to season.
I become,
I
or
want his-
who becomes him?
Him.
I also want his ticket.
We find
his
him?
bio to be
He
like,
hosts it, but he hosts it in the way that we all thought you were gonna host it.
yeah,
Oh, he's really doing it.
Yeah,
He's doing the
in.
damn thing.
he's in
in.
there.
For love or for
I'm here for the love.
Just
yeah,
like,
love only.
I am your ticket to success.
How bad do you want it? Do you want into the ATA after party or not?
I got the
Oh
tickets.
my, that would be the sleaziest.
He's everything.
I would watch every minute of Joseph Lachlinier's For Love or Like show, though.
It's
There would be real
I'm just gonna
stuff.
dress up.
Every
as-
hunting show is Joseph Lachlinier's whatever the name of the show is.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
There's the signature.
Kind of how it always
Yeah.
sounds like Bill Jordan's Realtree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like that, but it'd be like
Joseph Lachlinier's For Love or Like.
I
just
just,
shameless anything. He
I just
does.
picture him like in a director's chair, like a cigar, just like redo that.
You know who I'm picturing, kind of in a way,
two.
the hunting industry. Like, who's the dude who's like always pull his dick out for actresses and shit? Harvey Weinstein.
Oh,
Is that the dude?
Yeah, he should have got in trouble.
He's too creepy though. We need a cooler guy.
Yeah,
He's Harvey Weinstein
better.
was-
Kind of cool.
He's
not
Harvey Weinstein
Harvey.
with swag. Is it
Yeah.
Harvey?
Yeah, but it's not. He at least has decency. I think
Class.
Harvey had like pedophilia. Like,
Oh no,
Joseph
This guy's
Lachlan
classy. Adult women,
is adults,
non-aggressive.
the guy that-
sleazy adult, but only to adults.
Pull up the guy that owns
Right.
the Cowboys. That's what I picture.
Oh,
I don't know who owns it, but
yeah,
I imagine he's got a cowboy hat on. And
We
a
know
nice-
him. It's
You probably know him personally.
This
No,
is who I picture, but in camo.
This guy?
he's a little too old for Joseph, but Joseph's 10 years
I
older.
just figured the guy who owns the
Yeah.
Cowboys would be wearing
Jerry
a cowboy
Jones.
hat.
He's 10 years at least.
Here's who I picture, but in camo.
Oh yeah, that's exactly who
Who
I'm
is that?
picturing.
It's Doug Dimmadome.
Who the fuck is that?
That's him. That's
Yeah,
his character.
That's him, but in camo.
Yeah.
In camo jacket.
That's you in 10 years.
Am I Joseph Lachlan here?
Yes.
Holy
Holy
shit.
shit.
This is Joseph.
This is why you're.
Give him a white
This
mustache.
is why you're
that's
brought
him.
here.
This is why we were brought together.
give you
You're
the
the
tickets.
incarnation of Joseph Lachlan.
Doug,
I always knew I was meant for greatness.
how come you didn't tell us you were Joseph Lachlan here?
I didn't know yet.
Put a white mustache on you. Bam.
Isn't how the timeline's supposed to go.
But would you be willing to go to distance with these women that you're hosting at the show?
Well, only time will tell.
Okay, pretend this podcast is in 10 years from now, and we're interviewing Joseph Lachlan here. On season 6 of Joseph Lachlan Here's for Love or Likes, did you have any sexual relations with them women?
I never did nothing.
No. Joseph Lachlan here is supposed to be like, of course.
I know, that's
Yeah.
you need to be.
Wouldn't you?
In the Oval Office. What
Your
are you talking
mic's
about?
trying to get away from your mouth.
Like, running away from me.
It's so funny. Every time he hit the table, he'd be like,
He
and
fixes
it
it.
goes down.
Yeah,
Piece of
Joseph
shit.
Lachlan here did all the things you thought he did.
Yeah, I did it.
There it is.
Okay.
That's the Lachlan
You didn't
era. I
write it,
know.
did it?
That's a problem for this podcast.
And I'll
is
do it
that
again.
Character. That's great.
And I'll do it again on season 7.
I think
Tune into season 7 to find out.
Joseph Lachlan era, I hope, lives on beyond this one. Like, I
Yeah.
hope he comes up in, frequent podcasts. Y'all do one a week.
Yeah,
If there's a
sometimes
sleazy
two.
guy in the hunting industry that's out for the likes, not the love of the hunting industry, just call him. Oh, he's a Lachlan here.
Lachlan here.
That's a
Comment on other podcast posts. You should interview Joseph Lachlan here.
Yeah, start just spreading the word.
I want.
No one can find him, though.
Here's the thing, Matt. If you come up with another, okay, let me say that. If God tells you to come up with another crazy idea, just make the character Joseph Lachlan here.
done.
Okay.
It's already. It's
Wait,
done.
no, we want that. We'll do that.
Y'all want a piece of that?
Yeah, we'll take a piece of that.
Cheers.
We'll just join. We'll join forces and make it
It's the
great.
guy that you instantly trust, but you can't let him, go out to eat with your wife.
No,
You
definitely.
trust him around your friends, but not with your wife.
When he shakes your hand, it's like a comforting, strong, but they're awkwardly soft.
Yeah. There's something behind those eyes that just,
Yeah.
he's not
But you-
right. He's not right
but
with
you
himself.
can't help
Yeah.
Joseph
to lean
Lachlan
into
here.
it.
You can't help but love him.
For a
Yeah,
guy
you
he
can't help but-
moisturizes
everybody
too
loves
much.
him.
Everyone loves him.
Yeah.
You just can't trust him.
He's the life of the party. But
Love
don't,
the guy. Can't trust him.
I don't know. We'll have
What
him
a
as
stud.
guest.
He's a
Can-
life changer. Change
Hey,
your life.
Yeah,
one of
we'll
these
change your life.
days, can I just come in full send Lachlan here?
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
just
the
say,
next
"Hey,
episode we do.
Yeah, everybody
Yeah,
welcome
tomorrow.
Joseph. I don't want to hear the word Matt, Buzz. I want to hear, and I'm dressing,
Yeah.
cowboy hat.
You
Yes.
gotta look just like that guy.
Cowboy hat and
Yes.
tuxedo.
Everything.
Camo tuxedo.
Maybe even some like transparent lens glasses
Yep,
where it's
yep.
kind of
Yes,
creepy.
of course.
Like not reflective.
And then a cigarette or a stogie that
Oh,
you never
yeah,
light. You're
I'll
always
roll.
about to, but then you start talking
Yeah.
again. You never light it.
Oh, I will give
Like,
y'all.
you always try to light it. Be like, oh wait, one more thing, and then you just never light it.
I'm
Pull up
into
a
that.
picture of that guy again.
Doug Dimmadome?
Can you AI is Chat GBT free? Can you
I
just,
got
like,
one
AI?
that's free.
I wonder if we could do it.
What's that
Well, I
from?
signed up on
Fairly
a
Odd Parents,
monthly.
dumbass.
We'll let the listeners do the thing. Oh, you got the.
You gotta have a belt buckle that's way too big.
But this is like a camo jacket. It'd be perfect
I think this character is.
with white
It's
snake
come to
boots.
life.
I'm on airplane mode. So.
Oh, it's beyond us. We'll just let the internet
Yeah.
take this wheel. and then we'll check in on the next one. We'll regret that, I think, but it'll be super funny. Listen, we're Matt Busbicing the internet right now with Joseph Laughlin here.
We are
100%.
2 hours with me.
We've done it.
We're doing
Thinking
it.
some crazy
Okay.
shit.
Yeah.
Thanks,
it
dude.
happens.
This was fun.
Yeah,
All right,
thanks for
thank y'all.
coming.
Yeah,
I
thanks,
appreciate
man.
it a lot.
We're gonna go play with that Acubo now.
All right, let's go do it.
High score.
Eric, Doug, Rachel already said her piece.
No, thanks for coming in, man. It's been a blast.
Thank you. No, thank y'all.
No, thanks for coming. You killed it. It was awesome.
Let's go have a cold beverage.
Let's do it. Thanks everybody for watching, listening. We appreciate you. Hope you enjoyed this one and laughed a little. Joseph Laughlin here is watching your ass. Go shoot your bow. We love you.
Shoot.